What's our calendar looking like? Like, I feel like we got
Penis
Tuesday.
Tuesday.
Yeah, we got Penis Tuesday.
We got Pegging Friday. We've got Wood Your Mouth Saturday. What's Wednesday?
Whiskey Wednesday.
Oh, boring.
All right. Welcome to another episode of Flight to the Roundtable with the Bourbon Hunters and the Buckhorn Podcast. That's a
mouthful.
That is a mouthful.
Really?
I should just change it to the Bourbon Hunters. That's easier to say.
Well, if we were, coming in and doing shows with you guys, but I never get an invite, so.
See, the thing is, people listen
where
to
are we
our
at
shows,
today?
Where
are we at today?
Where are we at?
We're at Balboa.
No, I'm just saying we're doing a recording today.
This is a different show, though.
Oh, okay.
This is our joint show. This is our Flights to the Roundtable show.
And by joint, we mean marijuanas.
Marijuanas.
Yeah.
So I'm Dude Pool. I'm joined with
Tyler Schaefer
and
Martelle.
Randy.
And we have a special guest joining us today from Angel's Envy.
Lindsey Gerhard.
All right. So, Lindsey, let's before we get into some things here, let's talk about what it is that you do. We mentioned that you are from Angel's Envy. So what are you, an Angel's Envy?
So they're called Whiskey Guardians. So I am I'm the Columbus Whiskey Guardian. So basically I am our state ambassador, and I do educations, tastings, classes, bottle engravings, and
that's pretty cool.
Adjust the allotment in the state, see how much we can get,
Can we
fix that?
Yeah, so actually this year, since I joined on, Columbus and Ohio on its own has gotten 7 times the allotment that we usually get.
I've noticed a lot more Angel's Envy in the store on the shelves lately.
Yeah, the port wine one seems to be pretty readily available now everywhere I go, where it used to be, I've heard about it for years.
Yeah.
And I saw it one time in Grove City, and I grabbed it.
Right.
I didn't know anything about it, but I just heard so much about it, and there was one bottle. And that's what started my love for Angel's Envy. But once I found the one bottle of rye, which this is now my second, it blew my mind.
The rye is incredible. So
I don't know that I've ever seen the rye out in the wild.
Yeah, I've seen it once, and it was way up north.
I see it, but it's usually sitting in a box beside the counter, and it's not usually on the shelves. It doesn't usually make it that long.
Yeah.
So it's usually on the same day.
I never see it down in the Lancaster area. So
The where?
Lancaster.
Lancaster?
Right.
All right.
Yeah.
Lancaster. So you're from Pennsylvania?
Yes.
We're currently in Columbus.
Well, whatever.
All right, so we are down here at Balboa's in Grandview. So if you are listening and you want to join us live, you can.
Is there an S on the end of it? Is it just Balboa?
I put an apostrophe S at the end. Yeah.
We're in Ohio, dude.
Like Kroger's?
Kroger's. Myers,
That's right.
Walmart's.
Balboa owns the place. So if you're listening to us later on after we've recorded this, then you missed out. There's a decent crowd of 3 over there at the table.
This is a good representation of how many listeners our shows have.
Oh, that's not true. That's not true at all. So what do we have planned today? It looks like we've got a nice little lineup here. We've got some Angel's Envy, the regular port barrel.
We've got the port barrel. We have the rye finished in Caribbean rum cask, and we have the port wine finished barrel.
And
is it the same? Oh, and Cask Strength. Sorry.
Yeah, there we go. We got 2 of the same.
Yeah, we got 2 of the same. I'm sitting there looking at this.
Which one would you
We probably should have had someone else read this, right, Randy?
No.
Probably.
No.
I'll be honest, though. Some of my favorite parts of our show is when Martelle tries to read anything. Him and I will talk before after the show, and he'll be telling me what he does for work, and he's all articulate.
Super proficient reader.
The minute he goes to read on the air, he just stumbles all over himself. It's amazing.
It's fine. It's terrible. I've listened to those episodes, and they're fun. They're fun to listen to.
So which of these 3 is your favorite, Lindsey?
Personally, the rye is my favorite.
Okay.
I think that's a lot of people's favorite, yeah.
I think just because it offers such a different variety than normal ryes. I enjoy rye as is. It's always my favorite spirit. But I think ours, specifically with the Caribbean cask, brings out a sweeter note. It really tames it down. Even though it is 100 proof, I think it's a lot easier to drink, which is a good and bad thing.
I can attest to that.
Yeah.
It's very easy to drink.
It's uncomfortably smooth, if you will. But it's also a really good thing as people who are like, I don't like rye, I don't like that kind of like barnyard, farmy taste. And I'm like, well, try this. It encompasses a lot more flavor profiles with the Caribbean cask added to it. So if anything, you can use it as an introductory rye, or you could if you have a more refined palate, I think you can pull out a lot more notes as well. So
yeah, I would agree. I think I'm the other person you mentioned, the one who thinks it tastes too much like a barnyard. But the Angel's Envy Rye and the Piggyback, I'm all about. Like, I can drink those all day long. The other ones I'm starting to get a little bit more of a taste for, but I'm a bourbon guy. Like, I love my bourbons. I love my, wheat whiskeys, things like that. But rye is slowly growing, and I think it's because of the Angel's Envy and because of the Piggyback. So
yeah, I like the Angel's Envy, and I like the way you said it. It's kind of introductory to a rye. Yeah. Because as far as rye goes, and I think we talked about it in our last episode, but Martell and I definitely have. It tends to have a very peppery or spicy kick.
Yeah.
And people that are just getting into whiskey may not want that burn. They want something mild. They want something. I've had friends say, "Hey, what would you recommend me start at that's a little more mild?" But what do you guys want? Just say it. They're like trying to bad sign language. So
we are on a Bourbon Hunters show. I want to. Is this one okay? Is this one yours?
Yeah, sure.
Are we okay to open?
Yeah,
okay.
Of course.
I mean, I brought some in case.
But
anyway.
Just said,
I'm like,
hand me a bottle.
Yeah.
I was letting him talk. I didn't want to. I got one of
quit interrupting, dude.
Yeah, one of the reviews I got was quit interrupting your guests.
That was you who wrote that.
No, it wasn't.
It was me.
I think it was him.
But
it was a plant.
But yeah, it's a plant. I text people and say, "Hey, go tell dude to shut up."
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
But no, I love it because I grew up through high school and stuff down in Circleville in the sticks. We either drank moonshine, if you could get it,
a precursor to bourbon,
or Jack, because a bunch of country boys, and you always hear about Jack Daniels or Captain.
Dude,
So I
you're
grew up
struggling.
I just trimmed my damn nails. Here you go, Martin.
You just got your manicure. You're a mess today.
No, I trimmed them, and then right before I did my clean and jerk and my snatch this week, and my freaking nail popped like a zit. It was disgusting.
That's pretty gross.
Yeah.
Thanks for sharing
for
that.
all of you getting
Happy
ready to eat some
Saturday.
food.
Love to hear it.
Take that.
But with this, what I was going to say is I tended to get away from the Jack and just do like Captain and Coke because I like the sweeter rum. And then as I've grown older, and when Martell and I started a podcast together, I'd never tried most bourbons or whiskeys, and he had a nice collection. We started doing reviews, so it kind of opened up my palate. And I like ryes. There's a couple I really like. There's some I don't care for. But this one, when I finally opened it, I held the bottle for a few months. And I finally decided we'll take it up, do a review on it, and I guess you know how to do one of them. Know how to pour a drink. Yeah. I'm like, here, let me get the. You know more than I do.
That might be one of the requirements.
Yeah.
What bar do you run or own?
I run a bar called Citizens Trust.
Okay.
It's downtown on Gay Street, right above Veritas.
Nice.
Craft cocktail bar. Before that, I was at a bar called Curio for about 6 years.
Okay. I've heard of Curio.
So
I have a curio cabinet.
Nice.
Do you just lay all your booze in it?
No, it sits in the basement. I built a cabinet for that.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah,
I love
that's fair.
It's nice.
So I know that you're about to do some heavy drinking today because you've got your little arm brace on.
Dude, I got tennis elbow. I got tennis elbow.
He's getting serious here.
My meniscus is screwed up in my
you're
left knee. I've got
he's got
brace on my
elbow
right.
He's not wearing a knee brace, so this is just for the drinking today.
This is for the got my ankle.
He's got one of the back brace belts on. Like, I'm ready.
So let's, before we get into this, I want everyone to kind of knows this and why you guys are. Let's talk about this. So Angel's Envy port finish, they're typically aged for up to 6 years. They're in small batches of anywhere from 8 to 12 barrels at a time. I hope I'm not stealing your thunder. I know you know all this.
I was going to say, why don't you just have her tell us about the product?
No, go ahead. I love to hear it. I'll correct you when we.
She will.
It's from the website, so I hope.
How about
not.
I
was say, did you get this from Angel's Envy website or some review website? She's going to be like,
Wikipedia.
No. Yeah.
So they use 60-gallon ruby port barrels when they do that are made from French oak when they do the secondary aging. But what do you guys get on the nose?
Nothing, because I have allergies right now.
That sounds accurate. That tracks.
This one, to me, I get a little bit of the wine fruitiness on it.
Yes.
A little bit of caramel. It's a sweeter smell to me, for sure.
Well, Tyler knows what I'm going to get, so...
Brown sugar.
Vanilla.
Vanilla. It's always vanilla.
Vanilla is always my note. The guy who listens to the podcast more than you do, even though you participate, knows the answer to that question.
I still have yet to listen to an episode. Again, I'm just here to.
And how many? You've only been on 4 though of your own show.
So, what about you, Martell?
What about me?
What are you picking up on this?
Oh, I get vanilla, maybe a little bit of maple syrup. And then
the fruit for me,
like a dark
on
fruit.
the nose is
Yeah, I always got a big fruit punch.
Yep.
Right in the face.
I was going to say, I was curious to see what you'd say because
High C, fruit box, fruit punch.
Yes.
There are a lot of times we'll do the nosing on a show, and then Martell will pull it up. We have like a monitor in our studio, and we'll pull it up. We'll look at it. It's like, I didn't get none of what they said I should have. So,
And I'm like that too. I'll see something in the notes, and then I'll smell it again, and I'll pick it up.
Yeah.
Like without it, my nose is not nearly as good as Tyler's allergy nose. But I definitely am getting the vanilla. Now that you mentioned that, and I see it on here, it says raisins, but I do get a little bit of a dark fruit type of nose. So the other thing about this is these are aged. That secondary process is about 3 to 6 months, depending on the taste they get when they test it out. So let's go into the glass here and let's see what we have.
what we get. This is always awkward, I think, when listening. I'm feeling dead space right now because I feel like every time we stop taking a break, there's like a 5-second pause. So it's a live show. You can just talk to people, dude.
I know.
You're trying so hard not to talk.
One of our later guests is arrived, and I'm telling him to get a glass from the bar. Yeah.
Well, so probably should have.
So this year,
we'll just use it as a trade out thing, so you can use the restroom.
That's
grab
fantastic.
Some food if you want. I'm going to need some food at some point.
Ooh, margaritas.
This the show might end, but we might stay. This year, I really, really like this. This was my first ever Angel's Envy. Was the port wine finished?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, same here.
And at $50 a bottle, I think it's a fantastic buy. I'm glad to hear it's going to be more readily available because to me, this one is smooth. I like the sweetness the wine barrels give it.
Yeah.
And I'm not a wine guy, so I think it gives it just enough of that flavor that, like, I enjoy.
I've tried plenty that are finished in like port wine barrels before, and I hate them, but not this.
Yeah. That's true. I definitely think that the ones I don't like are the ones that are aged longer in port wine barrels.
Yeah.
I think the 3 to 6 month, I think that's enough to impart the right amount of sweetness, like you mentioned.
Yeah.
I'm still getting the vanilla in the taste. But again, I'm getting a little bit more of the sweetness. It doesn't necessarily taste like port wine, but it's a sweetness for me that adds into the flavor of the vanilla.
Yeah, to me, it's a little fruitier, and a lot of times we hear of fruits being mentioned in different bourbons and stuff, and I don't always pick that up. But with this one, I really think that the being finished in the port wine barrels does. That is incredible.
So this is my kit. I'm like, you know what? We're gonna do a whole thing, guys.
Oh, guys, she has.
Now that we're in it.
Okay, before you leave though, we need a picture of that kit.
Oh, absolutely.
For sure.
Oh, no way.
These are all the barrels.
Oh, sweet.
And then
Can I lick it?
Sure.
No. She's like, I don't care.
Whatever.
Tyler said no before I hand it to him.
This is the white dog initially.
Oh, yeah.
This is going to be the port.
Some water, yeah.
After 2 months, and this is the 4-year before it's finished.
Okay, I'll sniff and pass them around
I've always
here.
wanted to taste the bourbon that comes out before it gets the secondary finish.
Yeah.
From Angel's Envy, because I feel like it's...
Well, you can. It's right in front of you.
I know. That's why I'm excited. She brought that because I've never had that opportunity before.
I've always wanted to smell the white dog because this is basically.
So this is the port barrel that we're smelling right now?
I'm just going to break everything.
We're
I told
good.
you I was going to break something.
She did say.
I warned you.
She did say.
Okay, this smells good to me. You're going to hate it, but this smells like a sweet corn whiskey to me.
Is that the white dog?
Yeah.
I love, and what I love is when you do the Angel's Envy tour, they have you do the smack, rub it around, and then smell it, and then let it go away, and then come back to it, and it changes from that ethanol to like the bread yeasty type of smell.
That even smells good.
And Lindsey, I'll say, and I've mentioned this on the show quite a bit, Angel's Envy was one of the best tours that we have done so far in the sense of like introducing a novice, bourbon taster on how to properly taste it.
Absolutely.
And you kind of got that at other distilleries, but not the full explained rundown that you got at Angel's Envy. So that tour was fantastic.
Not to mention their tasting room is just phenomenal.
It's beautiful.
They've got
table.
that big table, that live edge wood table, and it's looking out over top of the baseball field. Mm-hmm. So you're just looking right over at the baseball field. It's in a great place in downtown Louisville. You've got that great experience. They give you some chocolate afterwards to kind of then revisit after you've already had it.
Incredible.
Is this the
4-year
bourbon? Nice. What's up?
We're getting some kind of feedback on that speaker. Can you try and turn that a little more out?
Yeah, back toward the room that way.
There we go. Thank you. We'll try that.
Oh, wow. Yeah, that does smell good. You still get a little bit of the corn.
2 months.
Yeah, I like the White Dog and the Bourbon Straight. Both smell phenomenal to me.
I like the
that would
smell of
even
the
be
White
something
Dog. It smells kind of creamy.
Do you?
Yeah.
It smells creamy.
I thought you'd hate it. Like,
No.
It
some
does
of the-
smell creamy.
Thank
You're
you.
right. It does have that creamy. It's like a creamy corn type of smell.
So I see on the card
man.
here,
Nice.
this was the highest rated bourbon. Got 98 out of 100 by wine enthusiasts. That's impressive.
So this is a 2-month port finish. So this is just partway through the process. That's really cool.
I think it's really
That's
nice
the
that
bourbon without finish.
Right. I
Yeah.
like the smell of that too.
Yeah,
they give us these kits, and they're just like, hey, this is going to be more of an understanding, since there are so many parts and steps to our process.
Yeah.
Instead of it just being like, hey, this is our White Dog, this is this. It's like, okay, here's step 1, here's step 2. We're going to take you along our journey as well, so you can also appreciate it, and it can be
No, that's cool.
literally
I like that.
very right available.
What I would,
bring
the
in.
only thing I think that might be really cool for that process in the tasting is if the one thing Buffalo Trace does is they give you like different expressions. If they did that with these, as like maybe the 4-year, then the 2-year age, or the 2-month aged, and then the finished product, that'd be kind of neat to just
Oh,
see
absolutely.
the progression of the bourbon throughout the aging process. That'd be really neat.
So on that White Dog, like I said, it smells creamy. On the 4-year bourbon, I don't really pick anything up. But then on that 2-month,
I get some oak, which is interesting on the 4-year.
see, I don't know. My nose is,
And I got some corn too, but it wasn't as strong as the original White Dog.
Right.
my nose is feral, so I'm not picking up anything.
It's a great description.
I know.
I don't even
But
know what
for
that
the
means.
2-month port, I pick up like some leather and like a little bit of oak
great.
and some other, some other things that I can't describe exactly what they are.
Yeah.
But I just
I know they're there. I
know
just don't
they're
know
there.
what
I just
they are.
Can't. It's that
Can't
Yeah.
place it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really like this. This one on our show, we rate at 1 through 5 donuts.
We're not doing donuts.
But yeah, no, we're not doing that here. But this one is one that I would definitely rate pretty high. It's not my absolute favorite just because I know that rye's sitting there and I've already had it.
Yeah.
But for the price point, this is half the price of the rye. I always tell people, if you see a bottle of this, get it and try it.
Yeah.
Some people say they don't like it. Others love it. Me
That was
personally, this is one of my
fantastic.
favorites.
Yeah.
I've become a big, before, when we started our show, my benchmark, my 5 out of 5 was Jefferson's Ocean Voyage 3. I haven't had any other voyage. And I've heard the later ones aren't as good.
They're not, in my opinion.
They're not.
And I will likely never get 3 again, unless I can find it in a whole set of all the voyages. But when I got this rye, and the fact that knowing it's going to become more readily available, I told Martell on one of our recordings, I said, I think this is going to be my new benchmark to rate good whiskeys by and good bourbons by, which he doesn't like comparing rye whiskeys to bourbons and stuff, but
Apples to oranges.
it is. It really is. But I just know that rye's coming up. So I would say if you see this, though, the port wine finished, grab it.
Oh, absolutely.
So, Lindsey, explain the process that you have to go through in dealing with the state and what that kind of looks like.
So, the state, since we are a control state,
Yeah.
it's going to be it's just tricky. I'm very lucky that we are an incubator brand under Bacardi.
Okay.
Bacardi has done a great job of working with the state. Our state manager, Jared Camden, will pretty much arrange anything I need. Like, if I call in, I'm like, hey, when I first started the job, I was like, hey, I need to, as somebody who's run a bar, I was like, I need to make sure that if I'm going to go out and sell, I have product.
Yeah, sure.
And he was like, great, got it. Negotiated with the state and made sure our allotment went up. And basically anything I need, I can go through them, and they arrange it for me, which is
Nice.
phenomenal.
Now,
It's,
is that a little bit more towards serving bars, or is that on the shelves as well?
both.
Okay.
So what I'll do is one of the agencies I work the most with, and an agency is just going to be a normal liquor store. That's just, we always call them agencies.
Sure.
So for my off-premise, I work a lot with Arena Wine and Spirits.
Yep. They always have a great selection.
So just inside baseball, they will always have it because they...
That's good to know.
Yeah. Truly.
It's really good to know because I know when I'm
I'm
swinging through
going
town.
to delete
Yeah.
this portion of the podcast.
Listen, I
the
said
archive?
inside baseball. You can do it that way, you will. But so they do a lot with most of the best cocktail bars. They do all of Cameron Mitchell restaurants, and So for me, I was like, cool, I need to make sure he's going to have one of our best allotments.
Right.
And Gersiv is great to work with as well. He's the owner. So
Nice.
basically,
Shout out.
Yeah,
All
shout
right.
out to my boy Gersiv. God love him.
That's awesome. So we know, and this is one of Martelle's biggest pet peeves, is how controlled Ohio is and how much they have stuff on lockdown. Because there's stuff we love that's just across the border.
It's definitely a pet peeve, but it's also a bonus too because
It is a
we
bonus.
pay MSRP. We don't get secondary prices.
No,
They
I'm talking
can't
about
mark it up.
availability, though.
But yeah, availability. You're actually.
So
you're
I was just
absolutely
going to
right.
say that it's nice that they were able to go to bat for you and get that
Absolutely.
pushed up because, there's two bitch out of Nevada. We've talked about them umpteen times.
Yeah.
And they want to come to Ohio. They wrote us. They sent us samples. They're like, we love you guys. We love their bourbons. And they just, it's like fighting tooth and nail to
It's
get
the whole
in.
application process.
And you're right. I do love that, the price control.
Yeah.
Because I know
Right.
Martell went down to Florida and he'll find something that's $60 here for $400 on the shelf down there
Absolutely.
or something.
Well, it was, I found, so they had Pappy Van Winkle. And it was $4,600 for a bottle of 15-year.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Where was that?
That was in Florida.
Oh, gotcha.
Down in Haines City.
Someone will pay for it.
But I mean, it's
that's
Florida.
the thing. It's like, yeah.
That's
Florida.
the thing. That area has a lot of
And while-
Japanese businessmen and British businessmen that they own places because they're back and forth.
Yeah.
They'll drop it in a heartbeat. They
Bunch
don't.
of
They don't
racist.
care.
Not leaving anything for us poor white folk.
I like
What are you writing
how
down
you
here?
lump yourself into the white folk when it's
When it's convenient for you.
for you.
Yeah, but I'm a person of color when I need to use my Cherokee blood.
Right.
0.002% Cherokee.
Yeah, that's convenient. That's
Super
convenient.
convenient.
So, let's finish these up.
I
I'm going to
already
get
did.
some gifts out for you guys. I promise you. I didn't bring enough for everybody because
You don't need to, just 3.
yeah.
Yeah.
So here's one for each
Oh,
of you.
candle holders.
Ah, I
You
love
can use them for
candle
that.
holders.
I saw these. I saw these, loved them, got myself 2, broke one of them. So,
Yeah,
you know.
there we go.
Otherwise, you would have had one.
I would have broke it today. That would have been what I broke.
Well, I bought this like
He
4
broke it
months
for
ago.
you.
How did I know we were doing a show with the guests and stuff? I would have just bought like 2 boxes of them.
I definitely.
He would have
almost-
broken it for you just
Yeah.
to make you feel better.
I thought
You almost get these?
Yeah. Well, no. I almost tried to pull the ball out.
Oh,
I was
yeah.
like,
I was like,
So you just freeze these?
You
Is that
freeze
it?
those, and I really liked it because it's a good way to chill your whiskey or bourbon without watering down.
Yeah, that's why
And-
I like whiskey stones for that reason too.
Yeah.
I hate whiskey stones
What I found though,
for that reason because they don't stay cold. The minute
But you
they
don't
hit,
want them to be too cold because if you over chill,
I'm not
then
worried
it,
about
then
over
it's
chill.
okay. Fair enough.
I'm more concerned about. 'cause
I'm
I've done
weird. I like
whiskey
my stuff
stone,
chilled or on the
put
rocks
it in,
usually.
Thank you.
and
That's
then
awesome, man.
It
Thank
will.
you.
Yeah. I will say though,
It doesn't chill anything.
What
It's
I
good
did,
for soup and tea.
I
what
make
I
my
did.
own ice, so.
Well,
Sorry.
yeah, I have
you
an ice.
make your own ice.
I have an
You
ice
use
maker.
distilled?
Me too. Put water in the tray, put it in the freezer.
Oh, I just do a reverse. Yeah, I'll teach you. I do that too, yeah.
Really?
Yeah, no.
So, but with
right.
these, I found out like my wife likes wine from the fridge. She likes it cool, and she likes sweet wines, real sweet strawberry wines. This works better with something that's already cool.
Yeah.
It melts fairly quickly, but it's good for one solid pour.
Lindsay, do you
Just
use
chilling out.
distilled water?
I love
for
how
your
you
ice?
just
No.
didn't
Gotcha.
really care about
Don't worry about that.
what
It's
he had left to
not
say.
Stupid.
Yeah.
You're
The end.
Yeah,
Sorry, I guess I was kind of.
yeah, I mean, I guess you're done because Tyler made sure you were done.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did break that bowl off, though. That's exactly what happened. I was down in the Kilns Tavern, my little basement bar area, and I was going upstairs. I had a rocks glass and one of those, so I just put it inside. I'm walking upstairs. I get up, and my wife takes it apart because she was already doing dishes, and she goes, "Yep, you broke that one," because I guess I'm shaking around or something while I was running upstairs. So if it breaks, just throw it away. I won't be offended. Just pitch it. I was like, dang it. Now I'm down to 1.
All right, what's next?
Right.
Do you want to do the
What-
rye or do you want to do strength?
What's your
Cask
Instagram
strength?
handle?
At Whiskey Guardian Columbus.
Oh,
With an E?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Whiskey Guardian Columbus.
The correct way?
The right way. The only way.
I'm going to
Murder
tag
way.
you, but it's just your shoulder and your right
I
breast.
don't care. Breasticle. Thank you
The only
very
thing
much.
Fit.
So what does it take? How do you become a whiskey guardian?
So we actually had one in Cincinnati for a while, and then she left the company, and Columbus is an ever-growing market, so they were, testing out different cities, and the lead whiskey guardian and then our regional manager came through separately and went to a couple bars, and then I just continued to pursue it because I knew the job was becoming available and they were seeing how a live art market could be. And so I actually just started in January.
Nice.
And then
right before everything hit.
it was pretty dope, yeah.
The best time.
So you got a job where you get to travel around right before they said stop traveling around. Perfect.
I did make it to the distillery for our central meeting, which was awesome because we stayed downtown. We also got to work in the distillery. I'm just going to hit stuff.
That's all right.
Right.
Threw that out there. I got to spend most of my day for about 3 days in the distillery itself, in the boardroom. The owner and his son as well were just always popping through. It's just such a family dynamic, and you can really feel it there. And, you know, he would come through and just bring in trays of different bourbons and different dilutions and be testing it and just, you know, bullshitting with us. And it was awesome. It was a lot of fun.
That's really cool.
I need that job. Are you guys hiring? Because I can do that and my current job simultaneously.
That's what I do. I mean, I'm really just a contracted position. That's how I can run a bar at the same time.
I mean, well, I don't even really work. So.
I mean, I don't really...
I didn't say that. I cut that out.
I didn't hear anything. I didn't hear a thing. And no one from your work listens anyway.
No one listens to my show,
yourself.
so it doesn't matter.
So what do we think we want to do next? Do we want to go to the cask strength of the same thing, or do we want to switch over to the rye?
Well, the cask strength is what? 100, what is that?
Almost empty. But
122 proof, right? Versus 100 proof?
The Angel's Envy rye is around 100 proof. Yeah.
Right. You just want to...
Let's go cask strength.
Well, this is a little more relatable because it's now
a
higher proof of that. So that's what I would recommend. But
nobody cares how relatable it is.
That's fair.
We just
since it's almost empty, I'm going to do the first pour.
You do, boo.
We got this in December last year, right, Tyler?
He's going to pass the whiskey dram around. Y'all split that up.
This is for you guys. I'm going to take the bottle. So, yeah, we got this. So, Tyler's birthday's in December, and we did a Bourbon Trail trip in December 1st. Our first stop was actually Old Forester, but we did our first tour at Angel's Envy. And then I grabbed that Cask Strength. They had it in the gift shop. Absolutely. I know you are on the fence with it, but I think now that we've done...
I haven't had this one.
He hasn't had it.
No, I sent you that was one of the samples you had.
Was it that we did on the four samples
at the
show?
time you didn't like it, but I think...
Really? We didn't do it on our show.
We didn't have AE Cask Strength.
Maybe I didn't.
The only AE I've ever had is the port wine and the rye.
I could have been...
Tyler wants more.
No, I was going to give them a...
Yeah,
I probably should take...
So, I've had this.
I gave myself a Tyler pour.
I enjoyed it. I liked it. I love it. I was at a restaurant, though, and I asked for... I was looking through the list, and I said, I'll just have the Angel's Envy. And they're like, all right, great. They came back. It was $40 for the fucking glass. I was pissed. Because they didn't say anything up front. Like, they didn't say, that's the cask strength, that's the, it's this. So when I got the bill, like, I'm carrying that thing. I just, like, get the manager, get him, I ended up paying for it, but...
That's fair, though. Like, honestly...
Hey. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
I need something.
You a little something to nibble on.
Yeah,
He wants some tacos.
I'm definitely going to be eating.
I do at some point.
Y'all dig in wherever you want to dig in.
But, yeah, I was really mad. Like, it was really good. I enjoyed it. But...
Oh, I don't blame you at all.
I was just
Pass that on to
pissed.
I
probably
apologize to anyone listening live. This will be edited out of the on-demand version, but there will be some chip chomping.
Can you edit that out?
Yeah, I can.
Yeah.
Just lift your mic while you're chewing.
Just lift off your mic when you're chewing. That's
Just take
all.
the whole thing.
Are you not going to have any?
Not right now.
I was going to say, I'm good right now. I've got all I need right in front of me.
I'll take the whole thing.
I'm going to drink my lunch. I'll be fine.
Right.
Yeah.
So, you're a bartender too, right? Mm-hmm. Which I've always thought would be a... He hates mouth noises. He did that on purpose. Such an a-hole.
So speaking of bourbon,
See, I swear.
There you go.
My boss actually almost bought me that shirt the other day.
Really? My buddy's like, hey, I ordered you a shirt. And I was like, is it this one? Because, like, turn that so the
me.
one leg's facing her and it won't fall. Or facing the same way as the...
There we go.
There we go. I was like, that one wasn't me. I didn't.
But, like,
No,
6 people had sent it to me in a private message the same day. So I was like, is it this one? He goes, yep.
Yeah.
And it came in yesterday. I was like, perfect. I didn't even wash it because that's how I roll.
My boss was like, if I just put your face instead of the bear, I was like, do you think that's, like, not a good look as I'm your face of the bar?
Right, like, out in front. But
I'll be the face of the bar.
I love talking to people.
Do you
I
want
love
my
meeting
life?
people.
I don't know. I don't know.
He's
you
really
want mine?
Yeah, let's try it out.
I mean,
let's do a Freaky Friday thing.
I'm like,
Freaky Friday.
I'm 40 and I'm in a 93-year-old body, so
I love that.
everything's falling apart.
I don't think she wants your body. It's not Freaky Friday where you switch like souls in each other's bodies.
I think my wife just realized that I wasn't there to switch lives.
I don't, you know, I wouldn't be surprised how little she cares.
She might actually get a little more attention in the places she needs it.
And my kids could give a shit. So.
Yeah. Your kids are at the perfect age of don't care.
Yeah, they're like,
come see you at work.
I got Legos and a phone, whatever.
Let's talk about the Angels Envy Cask Strength here. So basically what we've done now is we've moved up from the port wine finish to port wine finish. But we've actually got Cask Strength now. So this is, what's the Cask Strength proof?
2019, 122.
122.4 or 6.
Mm-hmm. Perfect.
So this is, according to some, best spirit in the world, 5 stars, highest recommendation. This is a very limited release, just like they do every year. And basically at 122.4 proof, is that right?
Yep.
Every sip is worth savoring, it says. This is from the website. So remarkably complex. And
see, I don't like that because now I feel like I have to slowly sip it and savor it.
No, you don't.
It's not a shot.
It is bourbon.
It can be.
It could be, but it's not.
Watch me.
So what do you guys get on the nose?
Definitely smells like
Same thing. Vanilla.
Brown sugar here.
I smell a lot of the same. The fruitiness.
I don't get the vanilla as much this time. I get more of the fruitiness.
I didn't get vanilla the last time, but I still get the fruitiness.
I don't get as
here.
much of the fruitiness.
Yeah, I definitely get a lot more of the
I don't get nearly as
fruitiness.
much fruit on it, but
Really?
I get more fruitiness than I did vanilla.
This tastes more like a whiskey or a bourbon to me.
I'm
again,
a nosing reject because you guys are now getting less fruit. I'm getting more fruit. Interesting.
My nose is feral though. Like that means wild.
I know what it means. I just didn't realize what it meant with regard to.
I know what it means. I just didn't know what it meant.
Right.
Is what I'm trying to say.
I didn't know what the phrase meant. I know what feral means.
Well, untamed, wild. Can't.
Dude, I think you're too smart to hang out with Martell and I.
That's probably true.
Or too dumb.
It's one or the other.
I'm pretty sure.
There's no in between.
I'm pretty sure you and I are.
In this world of everything being
I'm a
binary,
moron.
it's one or the other. I'm either too dumb or too smart to hang out with you, Martell.
I'm a
There's no
moron,
in between.
so.
I am not binary.
Let's see.
I'm definitely
Morons
just married.
here.
My chip
All right,
brain
Magellan.
can't figure it out.
So on the page from Angel's Envy, it says honeyed apples, peach, apricots, overripe banana, all fruit so far.
Yeah,
Black
fruity.
tea, toasted oak, slight char with floral notes.
Black tea's a good one. I would have thought of that.
Yeah, I didn't think about that either.
Smell it now that you read that.
Now that you mentioned black tea, yeah, that's. It's weird how you sit here and you nose these. And you're like, oh, it's something, it's this, it's that. And then the minute it's called out, it's like, yeah, that's exactly
you'll
what it is.
notice the
But there's no
familiarity of
suggestion.
something.
Right.
And then you just can't pinpoint it until you hear what it is sometimes.
So I did that to the guys. I was listening to your guys' show about, I think it was with Brett. And it was...
that's Brett right there. You guys haven't met. That's Brett.
Hey, Brett. It is, when you said, you can't suggest a scent or
you can't make someone
you can't make someone smell something. So I did that last night, and with the boys down at the gym, and one of them, he's like, yeah, absolutely, I smell that.
Were you totally messing with it?
Oh, I was fucking
Oh, this one's got a nose of dog shit, and
Was it with Jimmy and Brandon?
Yeah,
it was with Jimmy and Brandon. So it was
morons.
Nah.
They'll just say whatever you say.
It was.
They don't want to look dumb in front of you.
I love those guys.
They probably
Jimmy,
didn't actually smell it. They just wanted to make sure that you knew they smelled what you were smelling.
So we had the Sazerac rye.
Oh, that's good. That's a good rye.
It's weak.
I haven't had it.
It almost tasted watered down.
It's not strong, but it is a good. There's a good flavor to it.
I got a hint of just cheap original bubblegum, like just bubblicious, like right off the bat.
See, that's not a bad thing to me.
Brandon's he's sitting there, he's like, yeah, it's something I can't. I'm like, it's bubblegum, dude. He's like,
oh shit, it's bubblegum. He's got a man bun. What's he know?
He's trying to be a samurai.
Oh, it's fine. I like that.
You can't be a samurai without first establishing a man bun.
Right.
It's one of the requirements.
Well, if he's a samurai, that makes me a samurai.
Brett and I are completely excluded from being samurais.
I think yours is by choice.
Mine is by choice. However,
you choose to be bald.
You know what? Kendall was cutting my hair yesterday, and he goes, "You're thinning." And I was like, "Don't you fucking say it."
He's just jealous because he's bald on top. That's why he always wears hats. That's why he grows such a thick beard, because he's actually bald on top. It's like Gallagher. It's like Gallagher. He said, the hair just slid down his head.
I thought you were talking about me at first. I'm like, oh, there's somebody else in the room.
He goes.
No, Kendall. Kendall's one of our former guests as well.
Yeah.
Nice
to meet you, Kendall. Sorry, you're staring at my back.
You've been on 2 episodes, right? Yeah. One with Traverse City. What was the other one? You don't know. He was drunk that night. Oh, Elijah Craig Barrel Proof. It was the Elijah Craig Barrel Proof episode.
Perfect sit-in for you.
Oh, I know.
I don't remember what we talked about.
Yeah, we just drank bourbon.
We drank stuff.
Kendall's got a good radio voice, too.
Kendall has a great radio body.
Ooh.
I don't know what that means.
It means you don't want to see it in person. You just want to hear about it. So, what do you guys get on the palate?
This one, I think, tastes less sweet. It's got more of that whiskey burn I always talk about. Obviously, it's a lot hotter, right?
I've got a cheat sheet in front of me.
Yeah, you do.
So, I will say...
But I do get one of the things on here that it says.
The mouthfeel...
I get more in barrel.
I get more maple on this.
Chocolate.
I get oakiness and maple syrup on this one.
The mouthfeel on this is fantastic, though.
Yeah,
it's creamy.
It's
I can definitely get the wood in my mouth. It's nice. That wood in my mouth is excellent. So the butterscotch is what I get.
It's a normal Saturday afternoon for you.
It's a normal Saturday. Pegging Friday was last night. Today's Saturday. So honey, apples, butterscotch, toffee, mellow vanilla with a hint of oak and toast. So I am getting the oak.
She has no idea.
And I'm getting the butterscotch. Yeah, she
works at a bar. I'm sure she's heard far worse than...
She works at a bar, not a dive bar.
And where's the edit button on this
thing? Have you been there?
How many times have you spent with... it's a cocktail bar, but how many times have you spent in a kitchen of professionals?
Oh,
never.
Yeah. Through college.
Yeah, have you ever seen Waiting?
Does
That's
Burger
my
King
life.
Count?
Yes.
Legitimately.
Great movie. That is a great movie.
5 stars.
Waiting is fantastic.
Waiting is
fantastic. So accurate, too.
It's
what is it, Justin
accurate.
Long and Ryan Reynolds, right?
Yeah.
Oh, such a good movie.
I haven't seen that one.
Really?
Oh, man.
I worked at a lot of bars.
If you've never worked at a restaurant, it's not going to have the same effect on you.
I worked at Ponderosa for like 3 months.
Then watch it.
Oh, my God.
Watch it.
3 months?
Yeah.
Oh.
I can't believe I made it that long.
That is like being the crack whore of restaurant workers.
It was terrible, dude. The worst was they were like, hey, you're a big dude, we're going to put you back in dish. I'm like, cool, I don't have to fool with customers. I don't deal with nothing. But at a buffet, people get way too much food, eat half of it, spit half of it out, and anything that comes through that little porthole, you're responsible for cleaning. Oh. And we'd scoop it into like 55-gallon trash bags.
There are people trying to eat here.
Don't worry about that.
They knew what they were getting
into.
Don't
worry about that.
You really think I'm going to care about other people and what they think about me?
I'm just... Get him.
But it's just a mess. And then they put me on the.
We've got 3
They put me on the meat
here.
carving station where you got the roast beef and the ham.
Did you carve the meat?
And dude, I got so good with handling meat. Oh. It's why I perfected my skill.
I've noticed.
That's why you guys like me so much.
Listen, I've noticed that experience has paid off in spades, buddy.
It has. It's made me dozens of dollars.
Dozens.
There are dozens of us.
There's not many people request my services these days. It's weird.
Of meat handling?
Yeah.
Or what?
I think it's an appearance thing. I think I've got a radio body. So
are you gonna?
And face.
Speaking of
there it is. Radio body.
Are you gonna forge knives again?
Oh yeah, I'm going to get back into it. I got to build a new
I want
body.
your knives when you get back to it.
I've got a new forge. I've got
you.
Well, that's good because I will charge
for those
you.
For those of you listening to the podcast, what is your actual handle?
At Chieftain Forge.
And why is it at Chieftain Forge?
Because for a long time I was blacksmithing on the side. It's a hobby of mine. I got with a local knife maker here in Columbus, actually, that makes phenomenal masterpieces. You can find him at Scott Knives, but Scott is spelled S-X-O-T-T. So he's what got me.
That's not how you spell Scott.
That's how he spells it.
Okay.
It's not how I spell my middle name either.
So
have you ever seen this guy?
No, I don't believe I have.
Right
but send me that.
Okay. So the only reason
Tyler doesn't understand the medium. He shows pictures. He shows pictures and then says, "Have you seen this?
You see this?"
But yeah, I do. I blacksmith. It's one of my passions.
We're about to lose Tyler for 3 minutes. He's in his phone.
He's not even podcasting right now. He just wants to tell me about this guy.
He's been engaged this whole time until that came up.
Yeah.
Right. Hey, are you going to get back to forging? I'm going to go into my phone.
Yeah. No. So one of my old bosses. I don't know if he's good friends with him, but he just worked with him recently and made his first knife, and it sounds like the coolest process ever. Like, especially if you're involved in it, like you get to learn how to do it.
I sharpened a knife yesterday.
I think there's a lot of correlations too between making
I failed miserably
a fine whiskey or forging a knife, because it's all a process, and what we start with in the beginning is raw material, right?
Yeah.
But especially Sky, he turns these into $300, $400, $500 knives. I mean, he does everything. He forms everything. He doesn't buy anything but materials, and he makes it in leather sheaths. It's masterpieces, and it's the same thing like you were talking about with your kit. And I've seen some blacksmiths do at shows. They'll lay out raw material, the raw forged, the ground material, the hardened knife. It's a lot like these whiskeys where it's a process, and people don't get that. That's the thing with people saying, "Oh man, Jack's only $20 a bottle," or this or that. I'm like, but guys, when you're paying more for a more in-depth process, you're getting that better quality, that craftsmanship.
We can just start talking. I can separate the tracks later. We can have 2 podcasts come out of this
simultaneously.
So, what is it when you give a mouse a cookie or something like that?
Yeah.
We just fucking gave Randy a cookie.
Yeah, we did.
We used to give fucking Randy a cookie.
Wait, where are the cookies?
I don't know. They're right in front of you. They're right in front of you.
Which I will slam. They're tempting me.
So again, just to remind everyone, we are at Balboa's in Grandview. It is a freaking beautiful day outside.
It's lovely outside.
Too hot.
It is so lovely. Even though the hurricane came through last night, it's a pretty nice day out. It's 80 degrees?
It's about, yeah.
We've got
We've
got the doors open. We've got the patios out there. They're hating every second of this.
It's 84 degrees out. It's way too hot.
Oh, it's beautiful.
So
that breeze feels great.
76. Once it hits 76.
Before we move on to the finished rye, let's talk about my hand on Martel's shoulder. So let's talk about the Angel's Envy.
I'm just glad you got it out from between his legs.
Well,
I was enjoying that.
I had to move it before I made the comment. So let's talk about the Angel's Envy Mizunara Oak Cask finish. That was just announced last week, I think. And they sold out in like 3 minutes for the Angel's Envy 500 Main Street or whatever it's called club. But they're re-releasing, and I'll make sure this goes out after that so that we have a chance. On September 1st, they're doing another release for the common folk or the peasants.
Did you just say you're going to make sure that a live show is going to come out later?
We're doing an on-demand version, jackass. I've already mentioned
just
that.
Check it.
Just keep up, Tyler.
So if you're listening live, ignore us for a second.
Keep up, Tyler. Anyway, so they're doing a Mizunara oak cask, which is a Japanese oak, which is very expensive, hence the cost of per bottle, which is $350 suggested retail. However, there is a pretty good story behind Mizunara, I don't even know how to pronounce it, oak casks. I'll go ahead and let Lindsey talk about this, but and then I'll add in anything that she might leave out. So she's put on the spot. She's opening her phone right now to look it up.
Sure not. No, I don't even have a phone. I don't believe in phones.
I've got it in front of me. I can read it if you want me to.
She's over here like angelsenvy.com.
Searching all day.
So August 19th, while she's searching that, I'll give the beginning of it. August 19th, the 10-year anniversary of the first port barrel filled by Angel's Envy. We're releasing our first expression in our Founders Collection. So it's their first expression, which means there's going to be more.
Which I like.
Now, who did we just Brandon Collins from Taconic. They do a Mizunara oak cask as well once a year.
Yep.
So while I'm stalling right now.
Oh, okay. I'm tuned in whenever you're ready.
She got her talking points. She's good to go. So I'll hand it over to Lindsey now. Go ahead and talk about this.
So it was released on Founders Day, 10 years prior. What we're trying to do is, encompass what we wanted as a brand. So every year, this also ties back into the Cask Strength as well. Every year we do a different expression. The idea is we're not trying to make anything better. We're just trying to open up the experience.
Yeah.
So we were going to release everything on 10/10, which is why it says 10 out of 10 on the bottle. But Lincoln Henderson didn't think that the bourbon itself was ready. So we waited. We actually waited, I believe, 4 more months. So that takes it back to the Missouri casks. We wanted to enjoy the process, do something different. That's why it's also still a smaller release. We only did 1,200 bottles for the first. Everything that was said for the 500 main was the pre-sale for members. We're going to 9/1 will actually be our official release for the public.
So with only 1,200 bottles, it's got to be maybe less than 10 barrels they did of that?
Yeah. So, a lot of people don't think about it, but Angel's Envy, it's a small distillery. They have
it's such a good product that I think people think
Absolutely.
it's some big, huge operation.
When they hear that we're owned by Bacardi, we just got picked up by them, but we're still our own Louisville distilling company.
Yeah, that's a pretty common thing.
Yeah.
I mean, you get the Bacardi.
Well,
they're
Sazerac.
For sure.
But I mean, Jim Beam, even like all of them, they're owned by companies. A lot of times, Japanese companies, because that's become a big thing over there. The whiskey.
Beam Suntory, yeah.
Yeah.
And that's you mentioned Japanese companies owning, American whiskey brands. I'm going to bring up Blanton's. Isn't Blanton's actually owned by a Japanese company but distilled out of Buffalo Trace?
Well, Blanton's it originally started at Buffalo Trace.
Yeah.
It wasn't Buffalo Trace at the time, but they are owned by Buffalo Trace is owned.
I thought it was Sazerac or...
I have no idea.
I thought it was Sazerac.
I think it is Sazerac is the name of the company that owns them overall. And I do believe they do have partial ownership in Japan.
But
however, they do have a Japanese release. That might be what you're thinking about.
No. I could have swore I heard that Blanton's was actually owned by a Japanese company, but it's
they're all owned by the
Yakuza.
So originally Blanton's was started in 86 or 7. And it was one of those things that they were trying to do to put a kind of a shot in the arm of bourbon, because bourbon had kind of fallen by the wayside for a while. It became your parents.
I'm just testing dude's knowledge.
Don't be a dickhead. So I love how he puts his hand up like no one can hear him talking into the microphone because his hand's up.
Oh, he did that intentionally.
Yeah, it was intentional.
Anyway, so I think it was...
that was the joke.
I'm pretty sure it was Elmer T. Lee that actually picked out... They came up with the idea to come up with the single barrel... back in the day of Colonel Blanton, which Colonel is actually not a real Colonel. He's a Kentucky.
What is with all these guys? You got Colonel Bland, Colonel Sanders.
So that's a great
question.
question.
If you're in Kentucky,
Taylor.
you can just...
So in Kentucky, they do this thing where they, how in England they knight you. In Kentucky, if you've done something really good for Kentucky, they colonelize you.
I was born. Why am I not?
I just created a stinglet. I don't know if you guys ever watched, not necessarily the news back in the day, HBO.
Oh,
I just aged myself. But they used to do stinglets. Colonel is a label they'll give to someone who has done something really good for the state of Kentucky.
Something notable, yeah.
For the state of Kentucky. So E.H. Taylor, not a real colonel, but he's a colonel in the state of Kentucky. Blanton.
It's kind of like one of those things where somebody gets a key to the city. It's a recognition thing.
Exactly. That's really all it is. But it's a huge thing for people that live in Kentucky to become colonelized.
Well, people in Kentucky don't have a whole lot going for them anyway.
They don't.
So that's good.
They don't. Wow. It's either bourbon.
My family's from Kentucky.
It's either bourbon. He's allowed to say it. He's from Kentucky.
Oh, is that what it is?
So it's
I'm
either
0.02% Cherokee, but I'm like 0.01% Kentucky.
The rest of that percentage is Kentucky.
Guys, it's okay. I've got a friend from Kentucky.
He's allowed to make fun of
Kentucky.
One time.
Yeah. I drove through there once.
Anyway, back to the Japanese stuff.
So, again, the Japanese barrels. There was a point where Mizunara oak casks became a very, very well. Let me back up a bit. One of the cool things I thought about this release is that you're actually accentuating the bourbon here and not finishing it with a port or some sort of other finished barrel. It's another oak barrel.
Yeah.
And I thought that was really interesting about this release, because all of the Angel's Envy up to this point have been finished in some sort of other type of barrel.
So is this
port wine or whatever?
Yeah. So is this barrel? Is it treated like any other American oak barrel, where it's charred and toasted and everything else?
It's just going to be a very specific blend of how they're trying to pull the Japanese oak flavors from it. So
I mean, it's not American white oak. It's just a different type of wood charred the same way.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool, though.
I may dish out the money for a bottle of this.
Yeah,
Liz will kill me. But
if it's available,
you're going to break your own rule.
I'm going to go. I'm grabbing it. If it's available,
Martelle's rule is I will not pay more. He won't pay more.
If they have another bottle,
let
me know. If you can get another bottle, let me know. Cause
I will say that the resale value, if anybody is interested in that, the way I thought it was I don't know if I want to spend that. And then I was like, wait, there's only so many released.
Yeah.
The resale
you can
is
flip
going
it
to be.
for.
I have two rules. I have 2 rules. Every bottle I buy, I open, and I do not resell anything other than the Weller CYPB. I have no interest in that bottle whatsoever.
Never tried it. He just hates it.
I have no interest in it. I haven't tried it. And if I ever got a bottle, $600 out the door.
Do you know what the CYBP stands for?
It's create your own
craft your own bourbon, create your own bourbon,
product bourbon or some profile, whatever. I don't care. I don't want it. I don't
the whole
care.
the history behind Mizunara casks is
what did they do? What did that bottle do to you? Show me where it touched you.
The label's white.
It's still up there.
On this doll, showed me where the bottle touched you.
Yeah. Right here.
So
right
it went right like this.
Right up under.
Right up through the...
So you know Josh Marks?
Yes, absolutely.
All right. He just texted me and said, I didn't know you know Lindsey.
Hi, Josh.
Well, we just met.
Right. We do now.
You guys are like, I didn't even know her name. I just said it one time.
I just found out her last name
when
in
Dude
this
said
text.
we're going to have a...
Pronounce it. How do you say it?
Gerhard.
Nope.
Jared.
Gerhard.
Gerhard.
Gerhard. All right. Gerhard.
Jared?
Gerhard. Gerhard.
I just went for it.
Gerhard. The G is soft.
Yeah.
Gerhard. It's Lindsey Gerhard. So, just real quick, a little bit of detail on the Mizunara casks. At the end of World War II, Japan faced a shit ton of shortages, medicine, different things like that. One of the things
why.
I don't know. What happened?
I don't know.
There's a second one.
I can think of a couple.
There wasn't just one. There was two.
I like the sound effects. That was pretty good. That was pretty good.
So
it's like our own personal soundboard over there.
Because they were an enemy to the world, they lacked a ton of import casks. So they found a way to use their own oak, the Mizunara oak, which is what it became, to start distilling and aging their own whiskeys. So a lot of that, the Japanese whiskeys and things like that were aged in those Mizunara oaks. That's become an expensive oak. As you notice, Japan is a freaking island. So
they do everything so much better than we do. I'm just going to throw it out there.
Almost.
They do all...
Have you been?
They do 99% of everything better than we do.
They don't make better full-size pickups.
They're politer than we
They
are.
don't make better Kentucky whiskey.
They make better full-size pickups.
They don't grow corn.
They don't have to. I'm sure they do.
Did you say corn or porn?
Corn.
They do both.
Okay, corn.
And their porn game is on
Their
fleek.
porn game is terrible because they have to fuzz out everything.
Well, that's for them.
Listen, one of the first companies.
Why is it you know the history behind everything?
I will tell you. I will tell you
True,
this
though,
one.
Or do you think he's just like, you know what?
No.
I'm
too dumb to contradict
I'll
it.
tell
I don't
you
know.
the history on this one. I worked for a company called Starback Communications that I started up in Westerville.
Did you say you worked for a company that you started up?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, he was part of the startup.
I didn't just start it. I fucking worked there.
Okay. I worked for a company that I owned. I wanted to make sure I was on the same page.
I did not own it.
Okay, it just sounded funny to me.
The real estate mogul from freaking Cleveland who gave us the money owned it, but I helped start.
He worked for a
Is
startup.
that fair?
Got you. I'm just trying to go on the same page.
I was part of starting up.
Part of a startup.
All right. Anyway.
I'm on board with you, dude. You and I are simpatico.
Bunch of fucking jackals. Anyway, so
you knew what you were getting yourself into.
All right, finish the story.
So our original mindset was we were going to host a whole bunch of streaming servers. We used, just totally geeking out here, and I know you'll appreciate this. We used Linux to.
Oh, I love computers.
We reverse engineered Windows media streaming on Linux. Much at the time, this was 2001. Using wine. And in 2000, is he drinking fucking champagne? What the fuck is he doing?
Yeah. Is that a mimosa?
God, you're like a 3-year-old child.
I just looked over
I'm
there.
trying to control my ADD.
We're having a Bourbon Hunters and a Buckhorn podcast about bourbon, and he's drinking champagne.
You're talking about freaking startup company computer things.
And porn.
Yeah, and porn. Porn.
Japanese
Somehow
porn.
we're going to get there.
So our original concept was we were going to host all these streaming servers, and lo and behold, all of our customers ended up being porn customers.
Shocker.
So we had Hustler. No, this is a shocker.
I like how you had to think about that.
Did you count it down?
Is that silent?
It looked like you were doing a countdown.
Oh, she's perfect. She needs to be regular.
Lindsay's going up on my.
Yeah. She needs to be regular.
She just went up a peg. So.
Don't say peg in this conversation.
That's Fridays. That's Fridays. That's Fridays.
Oh, man.
So anyway.
Saturday.
Wood. Exactly. Wood in my mouth. Saturday, pegging Fridays. So we had
you live
this
such a fascinating life.
I'm surprised you're sitting in that chair.
So Japanese porn in your company.
Porn. So
how did anybody let you in a restaurant to have this conversation?
I don't know.
I don't think they
I don't know that they ever listened
about.
to our podcast. I think they just saw some of our posts. So
they're going to rethink this.
They're going to.
Before they were like, "This is the first podcast, so we're learning, we're adjusting." When we leave, they're like, "That was the last podcast we're ever having in here."
Touche. So anyway, we decided at one point we were going to host all of these people streaming. We were going to be a service before services were a big thing in the cloud. And we just attracted all these different porn companies. We had Hustler, Penthouse. We had a company in Japan who...
Because porn companies are innovative.
This is where this came from, is Japan is not allowed to show genitals on their porn.
Right.
So anytime Japanese porn wants to show genitals, they have to host it out of Japan. So we were hosting their porn for them. It was
which is the weirdest
crazy
thing because they are the freakiest people on the planet.
They are. Oh my God! I was not able to watch.
He's like, oh my God, they are.
So listen. One of the things I became the director of tech support as
I just saw PTSD flashing by. I've seen so many.
Did you volunteer for that position after this whole?
No,
he volunteered for a lot of positions after that.
I was the director of tech support.
I
was the director of tech support. Fuck you guys. I was the director of tech support.
Thank you. I want to turn you down.
And so they would call me all the time asking for, support, and I'd have to watch their stinking videos. And to Martelle's point, they were freaky as... I can't even explain it.
I will say tentacle porn's the best.
Listen, it turned me off of porn for a good 2 days. I could not watch porn for another 2 days.
Well, it's like when you do it for 8 hours at work, you don't want to go home and work again.
Yeah, it's like gynecologists. They don't want to look at a vagina after they've been staring at it all day long, right?
I don't know.
I mean, I don't know if that's inaccurate.
I don't think it's true. I've always wanted to be a gynecologist.
I have not.
Has never been.
Go to Circleville, sit outside Walmart, and look at all the females that walk in and out of that store.
Listen, I would be an exclusive gynecologist.
You racist.
I would be a gynecologist to the stars.
He'd have a membership fee.
There'd be a membership fee.
All right.
We are digressing. Let's get to the rye.
Right. We are digressing. That's how you choose to go ahead and open it. I don't care. I know you've got this thing about opening another man's whiskey.
Open another person's whiskey, so you never open another person's whiskey.
Unless he gives you permission.
Unless he gives you permission.
I give you permission.
COVID all over the table.
Komisaki or whatever they would say in Japan.
Anyway.
Because apparently they do everything better than us.
We completely lost our track after I was talking about the Mizunara Japanese oak.
What? This is what we do.
Did we lose it or did you?
Yeah, he lost.
Well, I think you guys led me down the path.
You are so...
I think you guys led me down the path.
Which is funny because I'm usually the guy, not to strangers, but to my friends, I will go the extra mile to make them uncomfortable, or if it's funny to me, it's funny. Yeah. You're making me uncomfortable a little for them. I fear for Martelle's bungle right now.
Back to the fact that I have not eaten lunch yet.
Here, eat more chips then.
I know.
But I don't get uncomfortable in these situations. I just kind of go with it.
Most people pass out. He starts getting freaky.
Oh, I get freaky.
I'm glad we're about to hit that 100 proof right now.
Yeah.
Feel very safe.
It's better than the 122. It's a step
This is
down.
my personal bottle I paid for. So
Wait,
y'all are
we're
welcome.
on a roller coaster right
Yes,
now.
I will be that guy.
So drink as much as you feel.
Yeah, just pour. You can pour a regular pour. Not
Wherever
just,
your safety level is, I think you should.
Yeah, that's fair.
They dump the water out of their glass.
Well, if you want another one, we'll be there next week.
So while they're pouring this rye, just to finish my Mizunara thing, it is now a thing that's used in Scotland and Japan for their whiskeys, and now the U.S. is starting to embrace it as well. So we got serious and just got quiet all of a sudden.
I'm all for the trying out the different things. I love the finished bottles, anything finished in something else. Virgil Caine has a ginger infused, which is
that is my
so and it's great for
it's crazy sweet.
Too.
It's crazy sweet,
way
too sweet.
It's it's a Kentucky Mule with nothing added,
but it is
in a bottle.
It's the best for old fashions.
Huh.
With using an orange bitter. And it's
fantastic.
By far the best.
I've got one bottle of that left, and I refuse to open it until I find another.
I've got 2 bottles. I got 4 bottles of Roundhouse now, and 2 bottles of
Roundhouse is gone.
All right, so what do we got here? What are we getting on this?
Everything. I get everything on it.
I love it.
I get Jamaica.
Explain what that
smells
means.
so good.
It's Jamaica.
No offense to the other two, but this one smells so much better to me.
I mean, I already said this is my favorite one.
Heavy caramel.
Holy shit, you filled your glass all the way up.
He wasn't messing around.
He was like, blah, 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 blah.
He made the comment, so I was just like,
You can cash out me $15 for that later.
Well, Tyler wasn't there for our first show.
Oh yeah, he's making up for the first show when he didn't drink my rye. Then
Randy pulls out his scale and he's like,
weighing each ounce.
That's a $12 pour.
All right.
That's a $15 pour. So
this smells.
This one MSRP is at right around $100,
It's
$95,
Yep.
right in that range.
Yeah.
I've seen it at both.
Can I get a permanent discount code for everything?
I wouldn't
Not
even.
just this.
You have
like
to pick up curbside though if you're going to do that.
the nose on this is crazy.
It is.
It is
like
crazy.
When we first opened
This is
this
so
bottle
good.
a
You
couple
guys like
weeks
this
ago, or another bottle.
I'm
just
trying
a
to
couple
let
weeks ago.
Lindsay talk about the damn rye, but everyone keeps
Go ahead.
talking.
I'm fine with it. Everyone, tell me how you feel
It is.
about
It's
it.
amazing. Like it's amazing.
One of my favorite things
It's
about
the
this
greatest.
What an asshole.
is it huge?
It's huge.
Oh, hey.
It is in Japan.
In Japan.
Yeah, they're all
Everything's better.
Everything's huge in Japan. Sorry, Lindsay. I'm just
No,
being
you're.
an asshole.
Have you met me? I'm not really like the nicest person.
I was going to say,
No,
she
I
seems
mean,
like she fits right in with us.
She needs to be a regular.
She works at
I don't know if
a
you
bar.
I think we do.
I think we need to do a show live at her bar, like pre-open or something.
Come on in.
Pre-COVID or something.
It's a
Whatever.
giant old bank building.
That's
Nobody's
fine.
ever been.
Can we do it in the safe?
Yeah.
Oh,
What
that
the
would
hell?
be incredible
What the hell did he just ask her?
to do it in the safe.
We have it.
Yeah.
What the hell's happening?
Pegging Fridays or like what's our day here?
But in a safe.
But it's a safe.
Hey,
Right.
she just went up another peg. Pegging.
Pagan.
Another pagan.
This is,
All right.
We're going to start our
we need some
rating.
food. We need
Our
some
rating
food
system is
soon.
So guys, the rye is really great. Let me tell you all about it.
New rating system out of 5 peggings. I would definitely take 5 peggings for this whiskey.
Lindsay, how was your day? I don't know. I got pegged a lot today. Like, pretty chill.
I went from a 2-peg to a 4-peg.
Is your boss going to listen to this?
I mean,
hope
I'm the
not.
manager. So.
Hey, listen, Angels
Oh.
Envy liked a couple of our lead-in
They're not going
posts.
to? I don't know.
They won't listen, but they liked a couple of our.
They're going
They
to
shared
ask
one of
me
yours,
for
didn't
this
they?
code, and be like,
Yeah,
as
they
I
like a
said,
couple of my stuff.
I said the word porn a lot, so I don't want it.
I had no control over what they
About
were
an
saying.
hour into this, we got into Japanese.
I
See, you need to take like little snippets of the reviews and be like, here, just use this. Like, that's it. Here's 3 minutes and 30 seconds out of a 4-hour recording you can use.
Hi, my name is Lindsay, and I work for Angels Envy, and that's it.
The
That's
end.
all I'm sending.
And that's the end of it. Start and
That's
finish. We'll have a separate podcast just for you that you can send them out there. And I'll just mash up the different descriptions you use for the bourbons.
I feel good about that. I feel very safe.
I'll do that for you.
Thank you so much. What a sweetheart. You're just an angel.
I do what I can. I'm a people person.
I believe that.
Oh,
So the rye is 100 proof. It's finished in Caribbean cask. It's what I love about it is that because they are still such a small company and they used plantation barrels. If anyone's familiar with plantation rum, it's going to be it's always one of my favorites anyway.
plantations are definitely racist,
Well, I mean it's down.
but they make a great product.
Yeah.
Truly handcrafted.
It's very
From start to finish.
What we continue on, Lindsay.
yeah.
I mean, are people getting offended?
I'm not
Because if so,
offended,
they've
no.
never listened to my show.
I'm
Our
not
show,
offended by
sorry.
anything you ever say. I'm a little uncomfortable right now. It moved
You're
from this side
uncomfortable
to this side.
after what you just talked about with your tentacles and your caressing
Did
martels.
you not hear
nipples?
what I just said? I said it moved from this side to this side.
That
You're-
cast
go ahead,
strength is not going to let
So
us
it's
get
stuck to
through.
the other leg. Okay.
I like that you keep trying to be like, I feel attacked. Lindsay, keep talking. Like, I'm fine with this. I like
No,
where
I
we're
don't
at.
care if I'm attacked. I'm just more worried about us coming back here ever again.
No, you're not. No, no
I
one's
know,
going to let you back
right?
in.
That's
I'm fine with that. I know somebody owns a bar.
I don't know. We closed. I'm sorry. COVID hit hard.
COVID closure.
Anyway,
So it has 95% rye. Otherwise, it's just
MGP.
yeah. Otherwise, it's going to be and like you know what? We're very open about that.
No,
and
I know
think
you
a lot
are.
of
They announced
I
it
don't
when we
have a
were at
problem.
the
here's
on our
something.
tour.
I want to call out so many people, especially the people in the local bourbon Facebook group stuff. So many people bag on MGP.
No,
where
I don't
they're,
get it.
They're idiots. MGP
Yeah,
is
I don't-
amazing. At
I love
distilling.
it.
right.
They're amazing at distilling.
It's like they turn up in their nose. They're all snooty. It's like people. It's the same people that talk trash about like I posted those 2 boxes of Weller that I found because they weren't even open, so I was kind of shocked. I'm like, how often do you see Weller unopened?
Yeah, I saw
and
that.
people were like, oh, that's everywhere, and I'm like,
no, it's not. That's why
first off,
I did the same thing.
everywhere.
He said it's like water. I'm like, really? Because I've seen like 3 bottles in the last 6 months until today.
Yeah.
I posted a whole shelf of that the other day, or like a week and a half ago, and they did the same thing. I'm like, who gives a shit what you? I hate this.
Here's the other thing that people do is Angel's Envy, technically by letter of the law, is not bourbon. So their port finish, because they finish it, is not bourbon. However, it's bourbon
when it goes
going in.
Guess what?
Right.
So like
it's bourbon going in, it's bourbon coming out.
That's what I call
care.
it.
So I will actually argue that if you're going to go through the Dave Pickerel's ABCs, it's because it's his second maturation.
Right.
That
There's
still
no
counts.
additives technically
yeah,
allowed.
so that still counts, and we're
Thank
still
you.
in the
Yeah.
bourbon.
Well, because one of our
Right.
listeners and a good friend of mine, Greg, argued with me on that. He says, it's not bourbon, it's finished in a different barrel.
technically by law it's not, but they're allowed to say Kentucky straight bourbon whiskey finished in port wine barrels. So
Right.
as long as they say that, it doesn't matter.
But
And
if I
who
pee in a
cares?
barrel and then
Who
I
cares?
transfer it to another barrel and you drink it, what are you going to say you've been drinking?
Technically,
Piss.
anything can be bourbon if it's continually aged. When it passes through, it could literally go from the top of the barrel to the bottom and hit wood for 30 seconds, and then it comes.
Right.
Yeah. So,
As soon as it goes into that oak container,
Yeah.
it's immediately bourbon.
At
As
that
far
point,
as I'm
it's
concerned,
yeah.
it's a bourbon. Whether it's in a finished barrel,
That's the way I
or
feel about it, too.
It comes straight
We're
out of the
not
barrel.
adding flavors to it.
As long as there's not an additive.
Right.
Absolutely.
You guys aren't putting like grenadine in it and bottling it.
Right.
Or vanilla, like
Right.
another
Yeah.
company I know that was
I mean,
doing.
Yeah.
So I mean, I'll take that argument all day. But also, I don't
I
think
hear
there's anything wrong with outsourcing any of your products for.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be Kentucky grown, because you also have to think how many places are also making bourbon, doing whatever. This jumps back into my whole like Tito's bullshit when they're like, oh, it's handmade, and I'm like, fuck off. No, you're not. No, you're not. Stop lying.
Yeah, what's new with Tito's? I've
it's the
never heard of it,
same
and all of a
thing
sudden all my like...
Whatever.
It's
I got
just
Same
friends
thing
are
with
drinking Tito's
Maker's
every
Mark,
night.
because it says handcrafted on there, and they actually went to court for that.
Yeah.
And because part of it is handcrafted, they're allowed to say handmade or handcrafted or whatever it says on the label.
Just because they stepped on a potato doesn't make it handcrafted.
Again,
That's
another
foot crafted.
So another shout out here is I don't remember his first name, but Hara. He does the book that's Bourbon Justice, outstanding book, and it talks about that type of stuff and different legal or legalities and different things that have happened throughout the shaping of American judicial culture through history or through bourbon and how.
Somebody gonna die.
Someone has a big penis.
Yeah. Or they're...
What is your fascination? Why are you so angry about people that have awesome cars? I see your posts all the time.
Who said anything
Listen.
about it being an awesome car?
I saw it.
Listen, anytime someone lets their penis hang
It was
out
a
of the
nice
car,
notchback Mustang, man. It was clean.
Found on the road dead.
most cars don't sound like that naturally, is all I'm saying. You have to do something
why
to
you
rev
drive
it up. And generally that has something to do with penis size. That's all I'm saying.
Or they got angry. You ever honked
I
your
mean,
horn?
I had an S5, but
It wasn't the
anything
horn
like that.
honking.
Look, not everybody's as hung as you, okay? Maybe we got to get our frustrations out other ways.
It wasn't the horn
We don't
honking.
get paid
I don't
to watch
care
you
how
talking
much
about
he
horn all
honks his
day.
horn. I'm talking about the freaking revving of the engine.
That's another horn.
That's a penis thing.
No, that's not a horn.
It's not a penis thing.
It's a penis thing.
That pipe shot bullshit
4-1. Outranked. 4-1.
Wait, am I involved in this?
Yeah, I like
Wait,
I saw you
now.
nodding when I
That's when-
talked about it.
me and my giant
when dude
penis
doesn't
are also
really
involved.
have.
Little did Lindsey know she was invited onto a porn podcast.
Right,
It had
right.
nothing to do with bourbon.
The porn hunters.
I'm gonna have a talk with Southern Glaciers after this and be like, "What are you signing me up for
Yeah.
these days?"
Right.
I get it. Sales are tough, man, but what is happening?
Man, COVID's affecting everybody.
It is.
Oh, okay.
Now she has to waste her day hanging out with us.
So,
Drinking whiskey.
what do you guys get on this?
Worse.
We've talked about a lot of shit that has nothing to do with Finished Rye,
Right.
Angel's Envy.
This one to me reminds me
On the nose.
Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
No, on the nose. No, I'm pointing you in the right direction.
This one here to me, like we talked about earlier, most ryes to me have a peppery smell,
Yeah.
spicy smell.
This has nothing like
this
that.
does not. This
Yeah.
kind of reminds me of walking into like an old 1820 cabin or something. It's like where they've been cooking, like a pie, or it reminds me of like an apple pie, a sweet fruit.
Love it.
Yeah.
Love it.
But also like an old woody smell too. And I only say that because I know somebody that literally owns 7 cabins dated 1780 to 1820 on their property. And this is what it smells like when you walk into one cabin. They've been cooking traditional meals for their events. It smells nostalgic. It smells old school to me, I guess.
There's something on the nose that is completely unique to Angel's Envy whenever I take a nose of this. And it's super crazy sweet, and I think what it is I think it's honestly the rum.
Oh yeah.
I get the rum, and
I feel
it's
like you're
almost.
back in my wedding.
Oh yeah, guys, would you like to? This is the piece of the rum.
Yeah.
You'll want to pass that around.
It's almost overwhelming in a sense that it takes over.
So you dare me?
Yeah.
It takes over the
Pass it
nose.
that way. Pass it that way.
You get the rum in the nose.
I get the
That's
rum
the
on it.
corner
I
I
get
lick.
that sweet rum.
I bet.
Yeah, it's a
Scent.
sweet
I don't
rum.
really
It's
smell
almost
it on
like
the
a
wood,
Captain
though.
Morgan's in the nose.
Or a Kraken. Kraken.
Kraken, yeah.
I guess I should have done that after I passed it
But
around.
what's funny is I don't get it when I taste it.
I don't get the rum when I taste
gingerbread.
I do get the rum when I taste it, but this is what I was talking about earlier.
I get nothing but rum on
I
the
prefer
nose.
like Captain over Jack when I was
Yeah,
back
so it
just drinking
doesn't
cheap
taste
stuff.
like how it smells.
That's what I mean by that.
Yeah.
Like, I get nothing but
I don't
rum
know
on the
which end of
nose.
it.
However, when I taste
And then
it,
if they-
I get
I don't know
a
if they
lot
got to see these as
more.
well, but
I get a little bit of rum.
This is like gingerbread to me. This
Yeah,
I don't
Yeah.
get gingerbread. I get.
I like that.
Yeah.
I get I get a citrusy note on this. I do on the nose. I get the rum and kind of a mild floral thing going on. But on the palate, it's I don't get gingerbread. I get more some fruits, like some not dark fruits, but like some
I get
lighter
that.
fruits, some citrus.
Yeah.
And honest to God, I get a little bit of maybe a little bit of like a salty, not heavy, just a little bit of salty, like Caribbean, saltiness. And it reminds me of my honeymoon in St. Lucia.
I just think that for a rye, it still provides such a different palate than what you would expect.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know what I mean?
You mentioned, like, I've never heard anybody refer to rye as like a farmyard.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think goats when I think of farmyard, but I don't think of goats.
You think goats and sheep? I'm sure of it.
That's Kentucky.
So
I'm from Ohio.
0.02% of me.
So I'm just going to say I moved to the other
This,
side. We talked about goats and sheep.
Right. Yeah, this to me on the nose or on the palate here, I said it when we drank it before. It reminds me of like a spiced apple dessert.
Yeah.
With floral notes. And I freaking love it.
good.
It's honestly, it's one of my...
I get more citrus.
Man, we already drink a lot of that. I'm going to have to find another bottle.
We're
Don't worry.
just
It
below
just
the
hit
line.
stores yesterday.
So we talked about this
I'm
last
going to
time.
hit up a few places on the way home.
But
Hit me up. I got you.
Oh, okay.
She'll OHLQ you.
Okay.
So the rye.
If I get stuff, you get stuff. Why you...
Because I'm going to go buy a bunch of shit
So
now.
Britt and Heather, I gave Heather my Angel's Envy rye that I had before because I didn't like it. And this was before the boxcar thing that we talked about, where I started drinking bourbon neat. And
I thought the boxcar
Oh,
thing was
hold
when
on.
used
Before
to
you
go
get
to
into that, so
hobo orgies and boxcars.
well, that's the first one. I'm talking
okay.
about the bourbon one.
what is Lindsey's stance on drinking things neat versus adding water?
Yes.
So
Or on the rocks.
You're the aficionado at this table, essentially. So,
it's a rough go. Just
Well.
kidding. So my thing is, I always think you should try something first, as is, so you can understand what they're trying to do, where they're at. And then, honestly, if it seems like something that can be opened up, that you want to bring more into the palate and bring more anything. Yeah, sure. Add water to it, add ice to it. Again, I know it sounds stupid as fuck, but that's why I make my own ice, because when you do a reverse... Yeah.
This is my.
I did that. So as we were to the cast,
sorry, I just finger fucked my glass.
Yeah, you did.
He put an ice and he just drinks his fist.
Yeah,
Tyler's back awake. That's the first thing he said in like 5 minutes.
Yeah. So I always do neat first, and then I always end up adding water or then adding ice after the fact. And we've kind of gone round and round with some people about, they're like, no, it's always neat. It's never this.
I think
and
the
I'm
original
like,
expression should be neat.
The original,
I think adding ice, adding water, it opens things up.
It does absolutely.
There's a chemical reaction that happens when you add water into bourbon that opens up and makes you taste more flavor and opens up the complexity.
So it's the science
There's
behind
nothing
it.
wrong with that.
It's the science behind it of having things cold versus hot. When things are hot, you taste a lot of flavors. When they're cold, everything gets diluted. That's why, like, anytime you have spirits, food, anything like that, it's going to taste different depending on the temperature it's served to you.
So what about using Coke?
Do you? Do you?
No.
My biggest thing for everyone is, like, however you want to enjoy it, I'm not here to judge you.
Oh, I am. I'm here to judge.
I'm not
Because
here to judge.
if somebody comes over to my house let's just say someone comes over to my house and they're like, man, I really want to try that rye that finished in the cask. I'm like, do you like whiskey? I'm like, no, do you have a Coke? I'll put it with Coke. I'm like, you can have this Beam 8 Star and put that in a Coke.
Yeah.
That's like if it's my personal collection, if they're spending their money on it, let's.
She's talking about like at a bar.
Oh, at a bar?
You go to a bar
At
and
a
say
bar,
Angel's Envy and Coke.
Hold on. At a bar, I'll still judge you.
At home?
You just judge everybody anyway.
Like, I
That's
have a
what
Middleton 2009 Extra Rare at home, and if I had a friend come over and they're like, hey, you want to put that with ginger beer? I'm like, fuck you, no.
Right.
Absolutely not.
No, you're going to get that free bottle I got 2 years ago that I forgot
That's
about.
why, like, I have Gentleman Jack. If somebody wants to mix something, I'll be like... and I only buy it because I have one friend that doesn't keep whiskey in his house. He's like, I want one when I come to your house, but I don't want it in my house. I keep it on hand for him.
Well, that's why.
But if somebody wants it, I'm like, here you go. You can do whatever you want with that.
Yeah.
I don't like it. I don't. It's not bad, but it's just not my thing.
No, yeah.
That's
I mean,
why
like,
I kept the Kentucky Tavern and the Beam 8 Star.
Yeah.
They are absolutely.
He tried to find the worst bourbons for us to do reviews on, and we tried. We mixed them with Dr. Pepper, and they were awful. But it's like that's the kind of stuff you keep on hand for that friend that doesn't.
Listen.
They want to get a buzz. They don't want to have a nice drink.
A big trend going around in the cocktail community right now is red wine and Coke.
I saw that.
I have not heard that.
I saw that.
You guys, inside baseball? Pretty fucking good. Yeah, swear to God.
Red wine and Coke. I've been seeing a lot of people that
or
I know.
Dr.
Like,
Pepper. Mm-hmm.
I've heard a lot of people.
Well, hold
say
on.
that.
Beam 8 Star ruined Dr. Pepper.
Do they have red wine here? Maybe we can try one.
Has anyone?
I don't think they're ever
Has
gonna talk
anyone
about
done Dr. Pepper?
Yes, I have
With
had
peanuts?
Dr. Pepper.
No.
What?
No.
Why would I do that?
I don't like peanuts in my peanut butter.
It is a Kentucky thing. Dr. Pepper with peanuts. You put peanuts into your Dr. Pepper.
I feel like somebody lied to you just to see if you'd be dumb enough to do it.
It's a thing.
That sounds like a
That's like Martell going,
Right.
yeah, Dr.
You've
Pepper
heard of that,
peanuts
right?
taste like bubble gum.
What is it?
Everyone drinks L8.
Oh, LA's a slam.
LA's
A late
awesome.
one.
Yeah.
I've lived there for 5 years. Liquid crack.
Yeah.
Dude,
Yeah.
I've got it in my fridge right now.
Actually,
My
it's
owners
probably
used to
Kentucky.
put sides on their pickup truck.
People put that with their bourbon,
They let them
too.
drive in the warehouse because they go down 4 times a year.
People
buy
will
pallets
mix
of
their
it
bourbon
and
with
bring
that
it
as well.
back.
It's like ginger ale in a
Yeah.
sense. Like they'll.
It's a sweet ginger ale.
Yeah.
It's if like ginger ale and like Fresca or some shit had a
right.
baby.
Yeah,
That's hot.
Big hands.
I'm a big fan. Physically, I'm a big fan of diabetes.
Physically, I'm
You're absolutely.
diabetes.
That's descriptive.
shit.
And that reminds me of that Virgil Cane Ginger Infused too. It tastes like a good bourbon mixed with LA, and that's why I love it because I don't drink pop, which is surprising for somebody of my
You don't drink what?
stature. Pop,
Soda.
pop.
Soda.
What?
Soda.
Pop.
What?
It's pop.
It's like a
Soda.
damn tennis match.
What do you call it?
I call it pop
Then what the hell was that for?
because I know
What
a
are
lot of
we
people
doing
call
here?
it soda, pop, whatever.
just
I
have
know
a
it's
Coke.
just a thing.
Yeah, a lot of people call it
It's a
soda,
thing.
and a lot of people get pegged every Friday. I'm not that guy.
Saturday.
I do it
though.
on Thursdays.
Saturday.
Wait, what's our Saturday again? What are we doing Saturday?
know.
Meat in the mouth. Wood in
Yeah,
the
that's
mouth.
right.
Wood in the
Yeah,
mouth.
yeah.
Wood in the
Okay.
mouth Saturday.
Oh, I really did put wood in my
Pegging
mouth.
Friday.
Yeah.
Yeah, you did put wood in your
You
mouth.
literally put wood in your mouth.
That was a premonition you had. We didn't even know it.
Why didn't anybody get a picture of that?
little
we could-
foreshadowing.
I mean,
we can
always- I
reenact
would say
it.
we
We can
can
always.
we can reenact
He can
it.
always put this
It
wood
didn't
back.
taste bad. I'm just saying.
Oh, holy!
Don't forget to give me that 3-minute clip. That's it. That's all.
Right.
She is like totally climbing up the.
The pegging scale?
I didn't even say it.
Oh, I love it.
didn't
We're
even
definitely
say it.
having her on more.
Yeah.
I absolutely love it.
I will
Brett
travel
is,
wherever.
Brett is smiling.
Oh, speaking of traveling, I get driving up here. I live in Circleville, unfortunately, and I'm driving
You
up.
can change that.
And I go,
Don't you live in
have a lot of
Lancaster?
land.
my rent's really
No, I
cheap. No,
live-
my parents.
No, he lives in
like 5 minutes from me.
Lancaster.
Lancaster. He lives out. He lives out in the country. He has land. He has a beautiful property.
I have property. I can shoot guns. I can kill people and bury
Very
them.
American.
Yeah.
I'd love to hear
Yeah,
it.
it's
And
very
I live
like.
That
in
all
Circleville,
sounds
but my
right.
parents
I have
have land outside of town.
I have a
That all
pond,
tracks.
and I can
Dude, do you
body
stack
actually
your
very
ponds?
nice, yeah.
Do you stack your
It's fine.
ponds?
It's a swamp pond.
You should get some wild
Stack your
ponds.
ponds?
Yeah.
What?
You stack your pond.
Stack your pond.
Stock.
No, no,
You
no.
stock it.
I don't
you
stock
keep
my
it
pond.
stocked with fish.
No,
That's what he's
pond is
asking.
stocked.
Do you stack your pond?
Stack your
pond.
You
pond.
stack your pond?
Are you from Boston?
What the fuck?
It is
My pond.
I'm like,
You stack your pond? Do you stack it? Do you keep your
I
pond
couldn't
stacked?
understand what you're saying. I'm looking at dude like translate for me. You've known him longer than I have.
Do you stack your
Not
pond?
stock.
stock.
It is stock.
It is
No, it's
stock. It's literally stock.
Stock.
No, not stock.
Hey, judges, out here in the audience, I know you're not paying attention.
STOK.
Stock or stack?
Jesus, you can't even spell.
Stock. Thank you, Minnesota.
Pond, not stock.
Stock. Yeah.
Stock.
Even
Not
West
stock.
even West Virginia said stock. West Virginia said stock.
Stock
He
pond.
says tournament. He says tournament, but he at least got stock correct.
I love it.
What?
What in the actual hell?
Oh, okay.
Anyway, so I'm coming up 104 because screw 23 in this traffic, and I saw a bald eagle flying.
Traffic on a Saturday?
And I was, dude, all the time.
Something.
And everybody's trying to get out of Circleville and get to Columbus.
I've never been to
And
Circleville.
that you're not missing anything.
Pumpkin show.
Not this year.
Well, not
I know. I'm
Canceled.
just saying. Pumpkin show.
Pumpkin
Yes.
show's a lot of people.
But don't people like call off work for the week because they're so
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
boxed in?
Yes,
like,
they do.
School
you should
I
just-
live in it, like
Yeah,
where the
yeah,
barriers
yeah.
are. I live on one of the first blocks.
You actually can
it's-
podcast from the backyard, right?
We've
And-
done that. We
Yeah,
podcasted
that's what I'm
twice
saying.
from my front porch. Well, the old house, but yes, we still can because I moved
Shameless plug.
down the alley. That's the most Circleville thing I can
Yeah,
say.
that's about
Down the alley.
We moved
That's
down the
really
alley.
the only thing we have going for our show.
Yeah, and but anyway, I'm driving up and I see a bald eagle, and I'm like, dude, that's sweet. Like, it's gonna be a good day. And
And then you got
my
rear-ended
GPS, like turn on Stringtown to get 71. I said, screw that, I'm going straight up, hit 71 and come up. Well, I get up, they're doing construction, so I got detoured. So I go off down by the quarry, go to turn, that ramp's blocked. Turn around, go back up the Frank Road, waiting to turn left so I can loop around. Right as the light turns green, I hear siren and a horn. Cop on a bike stops, there's a funeral procession. All right, so I missed the green light. Watching the other light, it turns red. I'm about to go again. Another funeral procession comes by. I was like, son of a... It took me like an extra 20 minutes to get here today.
By the way,
That's
side
crazy.
note on Stringtown, it's fast food capital of the world.
Anyway,
The what?
That's a great
Fast
story.
food capital
Fast
of the
food,
world.
okay.
Because you
Yeah, I know.
just said
So I used to
fast
work down there.
I heard
but
fast food.
Yeah, I worked
Stringtown
there.
has like literally every fast food.
I worked at
place
Huntington
you
there
can.
for a few years.
It's insane. I
I just care about
I was
Chick-fil-A. It's
blown
the only
away.
fast food restaurant worth mentioning.
Yeah.
food. Taco Bell.
But anyway, yeah, my commute was like, I was like, bald eagle, hell yeah, America. It's going to be a great day. We got a rep coming, and then all that happened. By the time I got here, I was just like, son of a... God, I was like, I wonder if they're...
motherfucking.
I said, mother... My mom might listen to this.
Oh, I hope,
I hope
she does.
not.
I hope Sharon
She
listens.
does all the time.
Sure.
Martelle will say something like, sorry, Sharon. And she just laughs about it. She was actually at Pumpkin Show one time we were recording, and we walked out right as he dropped
She's
an
like,
F-bomb.
behave.
Which my mom doesn't hate anybody. She's the most loving, accepting person. But she just is not one that's big on foul language. I use it a lot. I tend to hold back on the podcast. I don't put it out on my Facebook. I ask others not to. And she walked out right as Martelle dropped one, and she just looked at me, he looked at me and goes, hi, Sharon. She just shook her head and smiled at him. and walked away.
I have been put
She
into
was like, clean up your
Facebook
mouth.
jail on Randy's Facebook.
Yeah, because I put
He'll just reply
the
back
one time.
with language. That's all he says.
No, I put that watch your profanity clip.
Profanity, yeah.
Watch your profanity. But no, the
Normally you
one
just say
time I
language.
post the dumbest stuff on Facebook. I don't
We know.
post too much serious stuff.
You do it.
That's
within,
why we
like, from
almost
12
all
to
want
12,
to
15
unfriend
is
you.
30 posts.
Yeah, and then I post like one serious thing, and dude just replies penis on one and
Yeah.
vagina on the other. I was like, of all the things I
Honestly,
post to reply,
Because
to
they're not serious. You're never serious. You finally post something serious, and I say penis.
Can't take you seriously.
Right.
that was on penis.
You
Tuesday.
can't.
Yeah, penis.
Right.
What's our calendar looking like? Like I feel
We
like
got
gotta
Penis
yeah,
Tuesday.
we got Penis
We
Tuesday.
got Pegging Friday. We've got Wood in Your Mouth Saturday. What's Wednesday?
Ooh.
Whiskey Wednesday.
Oh, boring.
I was gonna say whack it Wednesday. You want
Whack It Wednesday. So
I'm going with hot sauce on the vagina
I
Sundays.
was going to say
I wanna
something
be on that
about argue about your wife's pillows on the bed Wednesday and not have sex with her.
Oh, wow.
You withheld sex from your wife because
Hey.
of pillows?
Yes.
No, I didn't care
No,
that we
she
did
did.
have sex.
Oh,
Dude,
But
are
she
we-
did.
Are we going to revisit
I was like,
this
I've never
story?
known of a guy to withhold sex from a woman's
Oh,
wife.
he did.
Or even
He was like, I don't
noticing
even,
pillows.
I don't
Like,
even
what do you-
want to have sex
Yeah.
with you anymore.
Yeah,
Pillows,
yeah.
it's like,
What was
get them
wrong
off
with
the bed.
pillows? Too many?
Are we going to read? Do we? Should we
Lindsey wants to
revisit-
know.
Okay, we're,
Yeah, I
we're
got
going to
questions.
we're going to revisit the story. So, wife and I were, at the time trying to have a kid. We're getting ready,
At least
jumping into
practicing.
bed. I'm ripping the pillows off the bed. Whatever we got, I don't know. There's just like a normal woman's bed. There's like 17 pillows on there.
I've only got 4, so
I think we have 3.
It's just
I feel attacked.
It's like
I have 3.
There's like
I own 3 pillows.
17 pillows, and my wife's like, you didn't even notice I made the bed, and I was like, is this the argument we're gonna have right now? Like, I was like, okay, like, you know, and I was like instantly turned off. I was like, and she's like, it just started an argument. And I'm
How
like,
do you get instantly turned off? I've never known a guy to just be like, no, I don't want to have sex with you.
well, because it was just like,
I would have been like, yeah, good job.
it was
Let's
like,
go.
well, it was like just a constant nag, and I was like, nap, we're done.
Good
The
for
best
you.
part is she listens to this podcast.
Yeah.
Good for you.
That's the
'cause-
best
But
part about
Tyler
this whole
doesn't.
thing.
Tyler,
Yeah.
yeah. I
All right,
remember
but
that.
like to be fair, why did you care enough about the pillows? Like, why were you annoyed by it?
No.
There was a vagina staring you in the face, and
It
you were
was-
worried about the pillows.
Right.
No, like I was pulling the pillows off, nothing was said, and she
Okay.
was like, "You didn't notice that I made the bed," and I was like,
See, now that she listens, I have to be very careful
And I
about what
was
I
like,
say because
no,
I
you
guess
I was like, really?
because I've been the whole time. I've been very conscious of my
Right.
Yeah, don't worry about it.
I think my instant reaction to that was like,
Who cares?
"What?" Yeah, I was like, "What? We're about to have sex."
Why did you even bother
Yeah.
taking stuff off the bed?
Why did you even bother going to the bed?
It's fair.
You don't
Right.
have kids yet.
You're in a.
They were
All fair.
scheduling it at this point.
You're in a. Unless
it
you
was
got
scheduled.
gigantic.
It was-
Trying to have a baby.
yeah.
It was
Scheduled.
make a baby Monday. So.
Yeah, make a baby Monday.
Guys, we were stacking this up. We need a Thursday, and I think we're in.
Yeah, I
That's
think we
it.
just need Thursday.
Yeah.
Maybe Tuesday. We have Tuesday?
I don't know. Dude's
Like,
eating.
dudes eat the mouth noises. Look at it.
Mouth noise Tuesday. That's
I've
terrible.
just never ever heard of a guy that's like, I don't want to sleep with you now. Like all full on ready to go.
Right? That was the whole
And just
point
be
I
like,
made.
I don't want to.
When he
I
talked
don't
about
feel
that
like
on the original
I'll
episode.
tell you what, I would have just knocked it out and then be like, hey, by the way, that was bullcrap. Like,
I'm more concerned on
get the job done and then talk about it.
I like to make fun of people for having like 2 pillows, and I'm like, "Are you a poor? Why do you only have 2?" But like beyond that,
What, you only have four. You only have.
I'm
two
telling you, if I
pillows.
wasn't married, I would have my California king size bed and one pillow. Because I'm like, why do I need more than one? I'm one person. I have one. Beth sleeps with 2.
We have
I don't need more.
You've got your decorative pillow, and then you have your pillow you
Screw
sleep on.
decorative
I've got
pillows.
another pillow.
How
that
many
I sleep
times
on.
do you
I got 2.
showcase your bedroom? I've been to your house every week for the last 2
And you
years and never
walk by
once been in your bedroom.
No, but you walk by it all the time.
Okay.
I don't want you in my bedroom.
No, that's sacred. We do our
What in
stuff
the mouth
studio.
Saturday, y'all.
Fair enough.
Coming
That's
in
where the
hot.
sex swing
Fair
is.
Wow. There's
Sex
a
swing- sex
there's a sex
swing
swing in my studio?
We call it a 70s lounge chair. Just
Says the guy who has tennis elbow. We know where you got that. You don't
But it's
play
like,
tennis.
I never got the decorative pillow thing either.
I don't
Like the
get
making
it,
the
but
bed
we
thing,
have
I
it.
kind of get. I used to think why, because who sees it? You
You're
get
just-
out of bed, you're
you're
going to
just
get back in bed. Who cares? But at one point, I read, I was reading this thing about like bettering yourself or some stupid crap.
You know what?
It was like, when you get up and you make your bed, you've accomplished one thing right off the rip of your day. No matter what else, you've accomplished something. It's stupid, it's minute, but you've accomplished something. And
Randy's
Still don't
talking.
believe it.
ever since then,
I can't
when I get up and go to work, I let my wife make the bed. And it feels great coming back home. To be
I
fair,
accomplished something by making her make the bed.
I didn't make her.
Did
To be
you
fair,
strongly suggest
my wife her
it?
whole life wanted to be a stay-at-home mom. She had a career. She went to college, had a career.
Hashtag
Took us
goals.
7 years.
Hashtag goals.
It was a long
Is
story,
it?
yeah, about how we had a kid. And
I
we
want a
finally had a kid.
stay-at-home partner who cooks for
It took
me,
you-
and then I can just do my bullshit. But,
So
like,
what I don't understand, is feminism,
But I'm working
where
from home
they
every day, so
where they attack
Kinda stay
yeah, I
at
mean,
home.
same.
women whose
But I just want
choice it
somebody else to
is
do
to
the rest
stay
of
at
Stay
the
home,
home.
yeah. My wife
Like, I want a
seriously,
maid.
like she works Fridays.
If
She
you're
has
truly,
a
if you're
job.
truly into feminism, then you're okay with any woman's decision that they make.
Be happy. But my wife tells people, she's like
have
her
a lady
Facebook
that comes
says,
clean my
stay-at-home
house.
parent. Like
Right.
she's
Not
thrilled.
your wife.
And she told me, she's like, if you work hard enough to where
That's
I
what
don't
Randy
have to,
says he has.
I'll take care of the
Bed
house.
maker.
That's
And
a-
I
that
did
is
that.
a
So I went
deal.
out, I got a harder job, I
That is
made
a
more
deal.
money, and my wife said, if you do this, I will take care of the house.
Can you adopt me?
And
I want to be a stay-at-home dad.
Yeah, I'd love to be staying
I'll
dad.
be
I
a-
told her that.
I'll be a stay-at-home.
I'll make the bed if you want to go out and
I don't
care.
I'll be a
Now,
stay-at-home.
that being said, I do
Listen.
help. I take out the trash. I'll
I
help her
just
with
like
dishes and stuff.
I like the
but
low bar of like I'll make the bed.
I don't know if
Yeah.
I'll take care of
That
the
is-
house.
you
that is a
pay
low
for
bar.
everything.
I'll
Randy's
be a
gonna
stay-at-home
barefoot
squatter.
pregnant.
I'll be a stay-at-home squatter.
If I was allowed to be barefoot
I
here,
stay
I
at
would.
home now.
And I look pregnant, so.
I love it.
I'll be,
Say you're
a,
a squatter?
I'll be a
We've
stay-at-home
got a whole
squatter.
finished third floor with a queen-size bed up there nobody lives in.
Third
I would
floor?
charge her.
I'm fine with
Okay.
it.
It sounds fancier than it is.
It's like
It's a
an
second
attic.
floor, I guess, because we have a partially finished base. I call it the third floor. It's really just the upstairs.
The second
okay.
floor?
Second floor.
I've realized I've painted myself into a corner here. I've got to pee.
Nope.
And you're literally in the corner.
We talked about this pre-podcast.
You're so old.
Do we want to take a break so that you can...
No, we don't want to.
we're not stopping.
We do want to get Brett on. I know I talked to Brett about coming being on.
Well, you go pee and we'll get Brett on.
That's fair with me. Can you work your way around? All right. And I'll get some freaking food because I'm starving.
You get some food. We'll get Brett on here.
I want to get some food.
You get food too then.
And you get food too.
Know what you want.
No one's stopping you.
We should have muted those mics.
Did you guys touch tips?
Anywho. Joining us
this is great podcasting right here.
From previous episodes of the Bourbon Hunters.
Yep, Brett's going to jump on here and hopefully that humming will stop.
Lindsay's like, this is my escape.
Yeah.
No, it's not. I'm still in, apparently. Just kidding. I don't know why you guys invited me. I'm a terrible guest.
No, you're not. I love that we invited
fantastic. You're actually
the last thing I want is somebody to show up as a Brett that's like all stoic and serious and like stern.
Yeah.
And
you're actually our first, I think, female that's ever been on. So
love to hear that.
Yeah,
bunch of racists that
we're
Bourbon
really progressive.
Yeah. I mean, we did just have a long talk about making a bed and why.
Yeah.
I don't think we're like really turning pages here, gang.
Yeah, my wife stay home.
Yeah.
I do have a funny story about that. So when Beth got pregnant, she was a teacher. And what is that feedback from? I think it's Martelle. Move Martelle's mic away from bend the mic up or something. There you go.
I'm still...
Yeah, it's Martelle's.
I think so.
We're good.
So... we lived in a tiny one-bedroom cabin in the Hocking Hills out in the woods. Freaking
honestly,
loved
that
it.
sounds like a fucking dream.
Oh, I loved it. But really small place, really quaint. And we lived on grounds that was actually owned by the Nazarene Church. And I get home one night, my wife's like 8 months pregnant. And these groundhogs have been tearing up under everybody's cabin. Like, people have different cabins, but they're not there year-round. We lived in ours because I loved it there. And the guy that was over the ground, he's like, hey, you're a hunter, kind of. He's like, I hunt sometimes, but I don't hunt. Like, I'm not the guy that's like taking off for the first day of deer season stuff, but I do enjoy hunting, and I do eat what I kill. And I eat other
Very
things.
Joe Rogan. I like it.
Yeah, so that's the best thing I've ever been compared to in my entire life.
It's really kind of sweet in the pot right now.
I appreciate that.
More
but,
kind, I guess.
So I get home in my 78 Chevy 4x4, lifted with 31s, and I come rumbling over the hill, and I see this big old fat groundhog right in the middle of the lane. So I stopped, and I called my wife, and I said, hey, what are you doing? And she's staying at home because she quit like 3 months before she was going to give birth. And I was like, what are you doing? She said, I'm doing dishes or making dinner, whatever she was doing. And I said, grab my shotgun and bring it out to me. And she's like, what? I said, I'm at the top of the hill. Grab my shotgun and bring it out to me. So here comes my wife with my loaded 12 gauge, barefoot and pregnant, walking up this hill. The groundhog sees her and scurries into this like drainage thing, like that goes between somebody's drive. So we get up there and I was like, all right, I'm going to chuck rocks down the top of this thing. When it comes out, you shoot it. Because she grew up in a family full of like legit real hunters, And she looked at me and I said, would you rather throw the rocks and me shoot? She goes, yes. So here I am with my like 8-month pregnant wife, barefoot, standing in the lane out in the woods, and she's chucking rocks in this drainage thing, trying to get this groundhog out. So I guess you could say we're a match made in heaven. When I called her, I know so many of my friends' wives stuff, she was pregnant, they called her and said, bring out my shotgun. And they're like, no. She didn't even hesitate. She's like, all right.
She sounds like a dream of a human.
Oh, she's awesome. Well, the great thing about her is like both her grandmas were big influence in her life, and one grew up living in the mountains of West Virginia. Her dad's side of the family and her mom's side of the family farmed outside of Circleville their whole lives. So she learned how to cook and prep and live literally off the land from both sides.
Which is something that everybody needs to learn.
Yeah, I agree.
Like I would die quickly. I'm fine if a zombie apocalypse came. I'd be the first one to be like,
you just walk into it, walk into the horde, get it over with.
Yeah,
she, and I mean, I told her she used to be more of a tomboy. I told her she's got a little soft, but she doesn't hesitate to fire a gun if to hunt, to do what she has to do. But she knows how to cook everything. Like there were rabbits tearing up Dad's property, and I shot one and brought it home. And she's like, "Oh, cool, have that for dinner tomorrow night." Didn't even hesitate. Like my mom will cook hamburger, but doesn't really like to. But a wild animal, she's like, "Nope." Don't care. Won't cook squirrel, won't cook rabbit, won't cook deer. Beth, she's like, I got like 19 recipes for that. So, yeah, my wife is like on point. I love it.
My grandma used to make squirrel gravy.
Yes,
making that shit
squirrel
up.
gravy is so good.
So you're from Circleville. I'm from even further southern in Ohio. I'm from Chillicothe originally.
Oh, yeah.
My mom lives in Waverly and stuff, very Appalachian and everything. So, and that's the area you're talking about, right? Appalachia and all that stuff that doesn't get enough... I don't know what the word is moving forward, like credit, you know what I mean? But it is such a great area. I lived in Kentucky for 5 years in Appalachia. Love it. Greatest experience ever.
Living in the foothills there.
Absolutely.
Hocking Hills area and all that. People discredit Ohio a lot. Say there's nothing to do, nowhere to go. And I'm like, you guys just haven't tried.
Oh,
And
yeah.
we have all kinds of entertainment. Columbus is a great city.
Columbus is fantastic. Growing up in Michigan, like...
I'm sorry.
No. if you've seen the outdoors of Michigan,
I love Michigan.
Yeah,
I do.
I have.
It's incredible.
I still hate the whole state.
Yeah.
I was in Traverse
That's just
City
because
last
I was born in
weekend.
Columbus. I have to.
Was that your first time up there?
No, that's like my third or fourth time
Dude,
being up there.
See, we have friends that went to Traverse, and my wife was like, she's been wanting to do a trip because she's a stay-at-home mom. She only works Fridays up here in Columbus, part-time. And she's like, I want to take a family trip. Our youngest is like almost 2 now, so it's time to get a family trip in.
You'll love it.
And she went to Traverse City. Well, she was looking all over, like Virginia Beach, and we were looking at Colorado. And I was like, well, with the travel restrictions, different states, the closer we stay, I think the better.
Yeah.
But we've done a lot in Ohio. And we had friends that just went to Traverse City. The pictures look phenomenal. And they're talking about how nice it was, how much fun they had. And their 4 kids had a blast and all this. And, she mentioned me, and I said, Traverse City, Michigan? She goes, yeah. I was like, no. Totally kidding. I would go for her, but...
You can start on the bottom west side of the state and go all the way up to Mackinac Island. First off, like, Mackinac Island's its own beauty.
Sorry, I have to do this for, you know,
got you.
I work
do your
sometimes.
thing. That works.
Just get Brett in the frame. That's
Drink
fine.
Right? Just me. That's cool. Like, who's the new
This
guy
is your
that randomly came
debut.
in.
Welcome.
Yeah, thank
Welcome
you.
to the Angels Envy family.
Thank you.
So
Delicious family.
If you go up, like, in the tip, you have Mackinac Island, which is incredible. There's no cars
Just the
on
tip?
the island. Yep, just the tip.
JTT.
What are we talking about? The tip.
That state up
in
north?
Michigan.
Thank you so much.
Oh, I'm fine with saying Michigan.
Yeah.
Until I already said it. I still don't like it.
So from there,
I hate the roads.
It's like
roads
you're
suck.
in Syria.
Syria.
Yeah, like it literally is like
I've never been to Syria, but that's really funny to me.
It's like there's literally like a bomb went off every like 5
it's
feet in the road.
Which is bad because Ohio's roads are not great.
Oh, no.
So to hear people
Ohio's
from Ohio
roads
talk about
are
how bad
amazing.
Michigan, I've been to Michigan several times.
If I laugh at people that ever say that Ohio roads are bad. I'm like, oh my god, just drive in Michigan, like your car will
especially
fall
like
apart.
people are like traffic sucks. I'm like, go to Atlanta, go to Chicago. And I've never gone to LA, but I've heard it's terrible too. So
up there, as you come down the west side, you have like Traverse City, Petoskey, which are fantastic cities. Over the 4th of July in Traverse City, they have the Cherry Festival. Cherries up there are fantastic.
So they did the Traverse City Whiskey Company had their cherry bourbon out there available.
I've seen mixed reviews on that.
I'm sorry, it's a whiskey, not a bourbon.
Yeah.
My apologies. But I did sample it. It was very good.
Was it?
I just I'm not a flavor person like that. So they had an apple and a cherry bow. And they weren't bad, but it's not something I would seek out because I don't like those apple and cherry flavors.
We're Lindsey's passing us around.
Yeah.
Lindsey's handing out things.
Yeah, I'm finishing out the rest of my...
And I like it.
Yeah. You flip it over.
Oh, that's so cool. You guys plant a tree.
For September,
You guys
the
can
entire
plant
month,
trees in my house.
In the house.
inside.
At the house. No, at the house.
I would like to do it inside.
I got plenty. I got
don't know.
5
We
acres.
started
You
with-
guys can come plant all the
Okay.
trees you want and harvest them later.
I love that.
Because I'm stuck in this shitty state.
So for the entire month of September, our whole initiative is every drink, cocktail, anything that's sold, if you put it on social media or do anything, tag Toast the Trees, Angels Envy will go out and plant trees so we can keep bourbon coming, keep everything, give back to the community, try and stay as...
Come plant trees in my house.
You know what? I actually legit respect that. That a company's
Yeah.
going, hey, this is something that we're just taking from the land. Let's give it back so we
Absolutely.
can continue.
Are you planting oak trees since you're using oak
Yeah, it
barrels?
says right here.
Oh,
So
did it say
as
oak?
of last year, I
Okay.
believe we
white
planted
oak
over
trees.
23,000 trees.
Nice.
So, and then this year, since it's a virtual thing as well, that it goes back to bottles sold, anything like that. So that's also more things. Just
The coolest thing to me, too, is you guys aren't asking us to pay to plant a tree or
No.
asking us to plant a tree. It's literally Grab a bottle. It says grab a bottle of Angel's Envy or a cocktail. Take a picture and tag hashtag Toast to the Trees, and then you guys plant a tree.
Yeah.
You guys see the
I like
hashtag.
that.
You plant a tree for each one. It says make us plant 40,000 trees. Like you have a goal. This is awesome.
Shit. Just come plant 40,000 trees at my house.
So that's the Westerville Lizardville event I have. During September, I have...
Let's go to that.
I have 20 accounts. I'll send you guys all of them,
Yes.
but I have 20 accounts that are doing drinks, whatever, for Angel's Envy, putting it through. But also, so Westerville, Lizardville is doing an amazing thing where we're going to do a vertical tasting of the Cask Strength 2017, 2018, 2019. And then we're also doing the rye and the bourbon.
Now, for our
So-
listeners that don't know, when you say vertical tasting, you mean the ages, the years.
So we're doing, it's the years of the Cask
I didn't know either.
Strength.
That was a guess.
Yeah, no, you nailed it.
I was like, yeah, that's like when you say, so I've got a friend that doesn't know what that means.
Asking for a friend.
So,
Yeah.
yeah, what do you want?
What do you want?
Martell, hook you up here.
What's the rarest one?
The rarest? Oh, this is going to be the absolute rarest.
And then the rye.
That's
And then the rye is going to be
Our
next
close
rarest,
second.
and I think everybody's opinion, our favorite.
Honestly, I'd go with the rye. I don't want to give out the Cask Strength because that's not ours. That's
That's
Steve's.
fair. Yeah, it's not mine. So.
But I'll give out the rye because that's
Mine.
Randy's.
And I'll get your bottle.
Well,
It's just a regular one. That is my
So this
Yeah.
is the wine port finish.
Down. Yeah,
And
absolutely.
that's the same one, and then that's the
That's finished
Caribbean
in drum
rum cask.
barrels.
What's that?
We can't get our hands on that one right now.
You want to try it?
It's out of stock.
we know
it's coming in stock
we know a
'cause
person that might help you.
We know somebody. We know
They
somebody.
can't get a bottle of the rye.
It's me. Hi.
It's me. it's me. That's what I do.
You were so happy to say that. Like, you're just like, it's
Want
me.
that one as well? Yeah, absolutely.
I like to pretend I'm like a really sweet, kind person a lot.
$100.
Yeah, that's 100.
It's
50.
worth it. It's absolutely worth it.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
Which one you want?
Right.
The rye?
I'm gonna let you.
Man, this is my
Smart man.
personal bottle. You're killing me. I'm kidding. So I brought it. This stuff needs to be tasted and enjoyed.
It is absolutely. It is the best. It's.
I think it's
honestly
probably-
out of the three that we've had today, it's the best one out
It
of the
just
three.
It's my
shines
favorite.
out so much, especially as a rye. Like I said, I'll say it 100 more times. Like it just,
It's like a gingerbread.
yeah. So these are
Sniffers.
all the expressions of the initial of the bourbon.
Smell
the
them, though.
white.
They're
yeah.
great.
Yeah.
Jump on in.
Yeah, absolutely. Open them
This
up.
is how
Give
it
them a-
comes
give
straight
them a-
out of the still.
So out of the still, 4 years in a bottle, and then 2 months
In a barrel.
in a barrel. I'm sorry. 4 years in a barrel, 2 months in a port barrel.
And then these are also all of the wood where you can see how it's charred.
They're delicious.
Oh,
How
so
it's
good.
aged.
I want flooring that's like that. I want barrel stayed
You know what?
flooring.
Oh, that'd be
That would be.
amazing.
There are companies out there that do that.
Oh, I bet.
Wow.
They take the wood, they straighten
those
it out.
barrels.
They
Yeah.
get the barrels, they take them apart, they straighten everything
yeah, all
out.
you gotta do
I've
is
seen a
plant it
wall
down.
like that, too.
Yeah, they cut them down, like they shave them down to
Oh my God.
whatever they need to be for
Like
the
I
thickness
think
of
the
a
rye
floor.
person, like
And
I
then
would
they
have
put them
that
down. It's
shit
amazing.
as a
What is
perfume.
it?
Like an accent wall, like
Yeah,
you said.
yeah, exactly.
Light.
Well, I like.
Also, it's
I've got a
100
bunch of
proof,
it.
so enjoy it.
Not a bunch. I've got a
Very much
decent
so.
sized box full of it. I reached
I'm
out
so
to
sorry we've
2
yelled.
Bits Bourbon and told them, "Hey, Martell likes your stuff.
You've been very
I'm going to put a new hand on the
Likes
speaker
your stuff.
again."
Shit, I'm friends with Lauren on Facebook.
Basically
Baller.
BFFs.
I mean,
Word.
shit.
But yeah, I use them to make like knife handles and stuff.
That's a good idea.
Yeah, it's very unique in the grain. The best part I love about it is like I'll cut out a piece, but as I'm shaping it and sanding it on the belt sander, you get the smell of the bourbon. It's so like even though I'm wearing a dust mask,
Yeah.
you still get the aroma. And I'm just in my shop, just like, oh, it's so good. It's so good. So yeah, for those of you listening, we have you can go ahead and talk to them. Oh, you can't, I guess.
That would be
I was just gonna say we got a couple of folks from Balboa here trying too. So
Yeah, it's
if you
100
hear us
proof.
talking in the background, we'll pass out samples.
But like you,
Everybody's a fan
Yeah.
of this stuff.
So
Angel's
definitely
Envy, if you
it's
guys,
plantation
if anybody
barrels
listening has
is
not
the
tried it,
basement.
go get you a bottle.
Jamaica, so I know all about the rum.
yeah. So you get that like right off the nose, and the fact that they kind of like blend it
But,
in, I think just makes
yeah,
it so
I
much
think
easier to drink and like
you gotta talk to Brett.
appreciate.
So, Brett,
You know.
I want to know.
So, Brett, I want to know
Yeah.
how you.
Oh, I'm so popular.
And like usually rye is super like
Tell me about Traverse
barnyard,
City
kind of
outside
like
of this
rough
one
on the
distillery.
nose and like
I
spicy.
mean, I love Traverse City.
But I was
So
like, nah, this
it's a
one's
beautiful
like,
town. It's kind of a hippie little town,
way
but I like that. There's all these little craft shops and stuff. And I picked up a peach habanero jelly.
This one is just like
Sounds like a
Delicious.
so
like a Pigeon Forge and Gallenberg kind of thing, like little craft shops
Yeah,
and
there's all
stuff.
kinds of little craft shops everywhere. There was a
Fuck
farmer's
yeah.
market there.
That's what I'm doing.
There was someone selling like local
Thank you
lavender
guys for
stuff.
having us.
So,
Nice.
and I love the smell of lavender. And they had lavender you put on your bed sheets and lavender soaps and all this lavender stuff.
You can put on 17-year pillows on bed.
Fuck yeah.
All of those towns are like small beach towns. Like
which is weird when you think Michigan, you don't think beach.
You don't.
But here's the thing: the whole west side
I have family that has a farm
is like
beautiful
beaches.
Yeah.
Like,
I believe you. I saw pictures, and I'm like, I would have never thought.
There's no
that
salt.
stayed away.
There's no sharks and there's no salt water. So
There's a lot of dead fish.
Sometimes, but I always tell people like it depends on the wind or what they got going on. But like it can actually get very wavy there. So like growing up, we would.
Well, I was on Erie and it got pretty choppy one day. We were out perch fishing. The guy's like, "We're going to head back early." So. Yeah, but I think we're going to try and book a trip up there.
It's beautiful. It is.
Oh, dude's coming in. Dude, this is like tag team wrestling,
right?
Dude's now coming on Tyler's headset. Honestly, I just thought Brett was a better dude. They're both
we
bald.
They're pretty
both
similar. I mean,
have a beard.
He's trying to emulate me with the bald and beard.
This is weird. I've got a left-handed.
That's fine. Whenever you need to dip.
I've got a left microphone now. It's kind of weird.
Oh, I just noticed that. Yeah,
it's a little weird, a little odd.
Okay.
Is he a lefty?
So Lindsey just let us know she may have to leave soon, which is fine, but she's chosen to finish her drink.
We do appreciate your time.
Thank you guys.
I think
for
for sure
me.
we need to try and find more time to spend having her on the show.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, she's definitely been fun to have on the show.
And we didn't know what to expect.
She's like at a pagan 6. Pagan level 6.
Yeah, where's my
we're
peg
saying
level
pagan.
right now?
I think you're
Yeah,
at
I know.
peg level 6.
Okay.
That's where we're at. Peg level 6.
So when do you cap? What is the top peg? Like when are you an alpha peg?
He can usually take about.
So you're
12.
way above that.
Okay, amazing. I'd love to hear it. So I'm an ultra alpha
You're
peg.
+2.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Well,
Love
here's
that.
the thing too. When
I'm gonna get a shirt made.
I can do that. I have a shirt company.
Yeah,
he actually owns a shirt company.
I thought you owned a porn company.
That's
Very confused.
He ran a porn company.
I worked for a company that
He ran
sold
it.
to porn companies.
The things that
I started a company that I worked for that
Yes. I have a lot of shit going on. I own a CrossFit gym. I have a shirt company. I work a 9-to-5 job.
And you have a podcast.
And I have a podcast.
And you have two podcasts.
Actually, two
technically.
podcasts.
Well, technically,
You have the
two
Bourbon
podcasts.
Hunters. You have Flights of the Roundtable with Martelle and I.
I mean, that was Martelle's podcast. I'm part of it.
What, Flights of the Roundtable?
Yeah. I mean,
That's
it's not
Martelle's?
mine.
Well, I came up with the idea for us to have the two together. You came up with the name.
I mean, it's a collaborative
And
effort.
the logo.
And that great logo.
It's not even a good logo. I spent 20 minutes on saying, here's my idea.
And then you bitched about
We
it.
noticed that you spent 20 minutes on it.
It looks terrible. I
20
literally
minutes,
went online,
tell.
found free images, used an online editor, and was like, here's my idea.
Except I
something
made
like this.
a motherfucking table and put her
It
name
looks like
on
a
it.
record.
So
just
together
looks
we're
like a record.
supposed to be flights instead of nights, flights of the round
Which I
table.
love.
I think she's
Love
smart enough to.
I'm not
figure
saying
that.
she isn't. However, I feel like maybe you're not because he did a round table and you said it looked like a record.
Did it not look like a record?
It looked like a round table.
It didn't look like a record.
I would like reference photos.
I mean,
which
a
I feel
record
like we're
looks like
working
a
on
round
right
I got
now.
you, Lindsey.
From
Thank you so
overhead,
much.
from overhead, a record
looking-
also looks like a round table.
Yes.
Or a round table also looks like a record.
Most tables aren't
From
black,
overhead.
I feel, and records are black typically, like vinyl black.
As we sit around the table,
Well,
that's
I think
pretty
his
dark.
logo's black, so you better shut your.
So I did
it was
brown.
like brownish.
I did
This is
brown with a like
patina,
a blue
I would
center.
say. It's a good
I'm
word.
trying to find the
patina.
goddamn. There
It just reminded me of a record.
I liked what you did. I thought
Okay.
yours was actually
I mean, I
okay,
feel
like a shield of a coat of arms. It does. Look like a
I never
record.
said it was bad. I just said it reminded me of a record
I
that you
would
see
much,
at like a
I would
50s
much
diner.
rather, like we talked about, see the different people on the outside of the table drink like different Glencairns.
The original
or,
glasses we'd have
or Kinsey
Well,
Dram
I-
or whatever.
I put the
different
four
kinds
on
of
there.
glasses
Yeah.
with
So-
crowns on it, so they look like
See, when
knights.
I think
I
of
put a Kenzie Dram, a shot glass,
no,
or
I
a
saw
rocks glass, a
that
shot glass,
inside
and
of
a-
the table. It
Or
would
the
have been cool
record,
to have them on the outside of the table.
It would be, but then it would just be circles at people's heads. If you're
But then
looking
when
down.
I think of flights, I would think of like a flight board.
Exactly.
Well,
And then it
I
would get
looked into
placed in,
doing that as
and
well,
then you would do like
Have
the
it
round
sitting
table.
on the round table?
Yeah.
I looked
not a
into
bad
doing
idea.
that's not a bad idea. I looked at doing a
Can we hire you?
Yeah, intellectual property. I'm gonna.
Do you want to be a part of
But
our
you're-
podcast?
you're-
Would you
That's what
like-
I'm- do you just
But
want to
hold
be?
on, you're on our show, so that's our intellectual property.
That's fine, but do you want to? You
30%. Call it.
All right,
I'm
30%.
cheap.
You're
It's
You're gonna have to be a
30% of nothing
regular.
is not
30% of our
Yeah.
profits. 30%
I feel
of
like
our profits.
I feel like this is going down like a bad Tinder date where she's going to leave and never reply to a message again. 'Cause we're like, you're going to be a regular. You're coming back.
Blocked.
And next time we
Blocked.
message her,
She's
it's
like,
like, sorry,
See,
this
mine was
user's
the
not.
opposite. I just texted one of my girlfriends. I was like, they're joking. They want me to be part of it. It's
texted like,
For those
she's
of you
like,
in
call me with
podcast
a.
world, she shook her head no with a sarcastic face.
She called.
like-
she texted like, call me with a fake emergency. I need out.
Your grandma died again.
Again.
Yeah.
It's the third time this year.
She
It's
had
wild.
another heart attack.
COVID, guys. Wild time.
See, this is why she needs to come back, because she said, I'm going to leave when I finish this. And
You
she
know what?
scored a
I
little
love
bit.
it.
You know what
She
I
went
like-
ahead
I
and
like
grabbed
it.
Randy's body of
She's
the
yes,
Hey,
bottle of the
She said she's going to hook me up. She
I
can have the whole
love
bottle. I'm like, hey,
I just like
It's yours.
pouring Randy's bottle.
Right.
That's all I
but
care
let's
about.
be honest, it's the best one.
It
He
is
was
the best one.
complimenting me at the time, so I felt it was okay. Well, he's like, "You're doing so good, sweetie," and I'm like, "Bet I
He's like,
am."
he's not paying attention. And
I'm going to go ahead and get you another bottle
Yeah.
in like 4 years.
block, delete.
Done. Not doing
I don't
this
think
shit
anybody
anymore.
here has my number, so I think we're doing great.
Oh no, but I follow you on Instagram now.
You're pretty much
Yes.
BFFs.
Oh.
I mean, we're
So I'm going to gong girl it and just disappear off the
Right.
Listen, I tagged the shit out of you on Instagram earlier.
Thank you so much. Wait, did you put the proper hashtags?
Probably not.
No, I didn't put it
What
in
did the mouse
hashtags.
Saturday? Like you didn't?
I didn't do that. That'll be follow up. That'll be follow up.
Wow.
Pegging Friday. So what did the mouth Saturday? What did we have?
Peg level
Baby
6.
making Monday.
Yeah.
Baby
Making Mondays.
We had a really boring one, Whiskey Wednesday.
Yeah, what the fuck, Tyler? Seriously, man.
Good thing he's not here anymore.
Yeah.
So I'm going to vote to replce Tyler with Brett and
So,
Lindsay.
is it any
But
different
because-
than when Tyler is here?
No, because Brent's here. What?
Brett, would you like to speak so I
Yeah.
can stop?
No. I want to know what Brett thought about
He's the second
three.
best attractive, bald-haired, bearded guy
Bald
at
hair.
the table.
Not bald headed, bald haired.
I'm
No,
bald
bald
hair.
hair.
Bald
hair.
Bald hair?
Bald hair
know.
energy.
I don't know.
There's nothing
What I
wrong
mean
with
by
that.
that,
That's a t-shirt idea. Bald hair energy.
I mean BALLED hair, bald hair.
Oh.
Go ahead.
That wasn't better.
The three versions of this we had. What's your take on the port wine finish, the cask strength, and then the rum?
So I love the port wine finish. Like it's delicious.
You
I
had
love the
said.
sweet from it and everything that you get, the vanilla notes and all that stuff.
He actually gets serious with his tastings.
Dude, I have
Good.
like so you can see how big my nose is. Those of you listening, like I have a monstrous nose.
It's pushing against his microphone.
and I think it just like can absorb all these
even,
notes and everything.
even though the microphone's at his chin.
Yeah, my nose still touches it. It's humongous. Anyway, I do love the original. It's delicious. It's been one of my favorites for a long time.
The port wine?
The port wine,
Okay.
correct. Today was actually the first time I've had the cask strength.
Same.
It was very good. It's a little overpowering. You know, I would say it's one that you could put a little bit of distilled water in it. That's not something I traditionally do, but I wouldn't mind trying that to kind of separate maybe some of those flavors. And then I'm not a huge rye person, so I will put that out there, you know, right out front. A lot of times I'll use ryes for like an old fashioned or something of that nature. I like this rye. I was really surprised that I like this rye so well.
Yeah.
I used to do the Knob Creek rye a decent bit for mixers and stuff like that, again, old fashions, whatever. But I like this rye way more than I thought I would.
Yeah.
So
Especially for even as having it neat,
yeah, and that's
it just doesn't wreck your palate like you would see 100 proof. You
Yeah.
imagine it's just going to destroy it.
most ryes are spicy to me,
Absolutely.
and maybe
Especially
spicy is not the
100%
right
Yeah,
word,
yeah.
but
No, I think
I
it's
say
right.
barnyard, so spicy is probably like a nicer way to put it.
This,
But.
I don't get this barnyard thing.
Of rye?
Yes.
So,
He's more feral.
I mean, I get it because I think, yeah, you have a
No.
feral palate
I
right
have
now.
I have a
so.
feral nose.
Barnyard
so.
is accurate. It's almost like a
Martell,
but when you say
Martell just ordered
barnyard-
another ride. This,
Hold on,
me
hold on.
recording this is going to cost
when
me
I hear
$100
barnyard,
today.
When you
I'll
say
explain it.
barnyard,
I'll
what do
explain
you explain what you mean by
to me,
barnyard?
I
And I'm
feel
the
like
worst one
almost
out of
like
all of us.
I feel like it's a field,
Taking advantage of me.
like a field weed.
best one.
It's almost like a field weed, or
Yeah, like
there's something earthy about it. Very earthy.
See, you say barnyard. When
Hold
you say
on.
barnyard, I think cow shitting in a barn.
See, but I
a
think
lot
like
of stuff happens
That's
in
a
a barn.
barn,
Yeah.
not
A
a barn
lot of-
yard.
hey,
Okay, pig
Listen,
shitting in a barnyard.
A lot
There
of
you
stuff happens in a barn. People have sex in a barn.
go. Yeah, they
barn,
do.
people get married
I've
in a
done
barn.
So why
people
don't you think
hide
about
the
sex in a
police
barn?
in a barn?
Because
Shit
sex in a
happens.
barn
Tyler
smells
does
like
it.
straw and-
Yeah.
Tyler goes over and his wife says, "You didn't even notice I."
straw.
You just said straw
and something else.
There you go.
But I don't get straw
Tyler,
on
hey.
barnyard.
So I do get like I worked on some farms and stuff because I'm from Southern Ohio, rural Ohio and stuff. I do get
Lexington.
no. I lived in Moorhead and
Moorhead,
Lexington
Moorhead.
is where I
I
lived
just
when I was in.
like
I lived in Richmond, Kentucky. I went to
Oh,
Eastern
very nice.
Kentucky for 2 years.
I did my clinicals there at
Did you ever
Patty
wear a
Egg.
Moorhead hat?
Hold on. Hold on.
A lot of people wore Moorhead hat.
Are you the guy that had
never
COVID?
went there?
That had what?
Right.
COVID?
Yes.
They
A bunch
found-
of kids in my high school wearing it. They weren't even
All right.
They
Yeah,
found
I'm putting-
thrift store.
Yeah.
They're like, yo, this
Sounds
is
to-
Go to Lids, get a Moorhead
Yeah.
hat.
Your,
The
antibody
South Carolina
test back?
Gamecocks or
Not
something
my
like
second
that.
antibody test.
That's
No.
crazy. Even
I want to
better
go
than
have the
that one.
antibody
Yeah.
test done.
You can get it done at there's
LabCorp?
LabCorp for $10. You can get it done if
In
you want.
Dublin?
And then
Yeah,
Quest,
any of
Quest
them.
Diagnostics
Any of them, they'll do it for $10.
I want to do it. I
We
want to
switched
see
gears to COVID somehow.
because I'm convinced
So
that I'm
dumb.
immune to
I had a
everything.
funny Tyler Sex joke about a barn, and you guys switched to COVID.
Tyler's over there sitting down having
Nobody
a beer.
wants to hear about COVID.
Yeah, he
so
gave
the
up.
barn
Did he
thing.
get a beer?
I don't know. He's
Yeah.
sitting over there. He's like with a daiquiri or something.
He quit. He's
He's
out.
just like, he's
I
like,
am
We
now
have reached
Tyler.
Tyler's.
So.
Good.
We have reached the
That's
edge.
a great trade for us
Tyler's
in the off
attention
season.
like I'm absolutely convinced I'm immune to everything out there. Like I don't get the flu. I never get the common cold. I walk around with the sniffles constantly.
What about
Like,
that syphilis bout you had?
That's we're not going to talk about that.
Nothing
fucker.
penicillin can't fix.
Yeah, I mean penicillin's fine.
Say penicillin?
Yeah,
Peterson.
so I want to try. I want to go get it to see if I've had it or if I have the antibodies for it.
I don't want to nerd out on you too hard.
No,
so
do
bear
it.
with me for a second. So
You and Dude are the exact same person.
I know it happens.
I don't want to nerd out, but did you know that in Japan in 1942?
The porn industry.
Right.
Wild
Not to toot my own horn, but
Listen,
but I
we're
just-
talking about
yeah,
computers
all I
now.
know is you guys are still quoting it, so it must have stuck.
I just listened to.
so
Oh, yeah.
I was
Just
trying
saying.
to explain the rye, and then it just jumped
It
into a
turned
porn
into-
thing,
yeah.
and I was
Jumped
like,
into a porn
I always
conversation.
remember
Yeah.
things I can make fun of you for later.
1000%.
No doubt.
Whatever.
Yeah.
Listen,
I don't even know
rem-
you that well, and I'm going to
remember
pocket this for a while.
You remember it, and you're now.
Like a year later, I'm going to slide into some DMs.
You're now.
I love it
remember-
when people slide
She's
into my
going to slide into
DMs.
some DMs.
Yeah.
I just got hot.
Slide into DM Sundays.
Now, when you say DMs, you mean dick massage, right?
Yes.
Okay, great.
Right.
All right.
I'll hire somebody for that. I'm not that poor.
Again,
Outsource. Nothing wrong with outsourcing.
I will get you that 90-second
Yeah.
clip on Monday. Trust me.
Yeah, we went
It's literally
from
gonna be
3
like-
minutes to 90 seconds because we cannot let this be
It's
done.
just going to be her
90
intro.
Show's going
I'll
to
get
stop where
fired.
Dude and I got up.
Yeah, if you guys,
Hey now.
if you guys want those
We went
discounts,
to the
you got to
bathroom.
keep me somewhat hireable for my job.
Fair enough.
Just
so
don't
just
like
delete
this.
this file.
Just don't put us on your resume. That's all I'm saying.
I have to submit it, and then at that point, I'm gonna be like, "Yeah, I don't know where it went. They said they were doing it. I think they just lied the whole time." That's what I'm
I
gonna
was
hit
held
them with.
hostage the entire time.
They
Oh,
just
what
said
do you
they were
mean-
doing something to get some
What do you
free
mean the
food.
file's
I guess,
corrupted
yeah,
and won't play? Darn.
Oh no. Guess you got an Android. All right.
Oh, that's funny.
On that note, you guys are all wonderful. I'm gonna bounce and go
Thank
open a
you.
bar somehow, some
Honestly,
way.
thank you for coming today.
You guys
Yeah,
are wonderful.
awesome having
Thank you so much for
have
having
been,
me.
Yes, you've been an awesome guest.
Let me know if you guys need me to talk shit about anything else because I'm always here for
hell,
that.
shit.
I
We
love
plan on doing this
talking shit.
once a month.
We
I
were
think.
talking about doing once
So
a
we'll
month.
probably hit you up again.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Just hang out for sure.
I've done a lot of distillery tours and shit, so I can actually
Perfect.
talk about other things. But yeah,
And you can do other samples with us too. It doesn't
yeah.
have to be
It doesn't
It's
always.
just-
It's whatever.
I can just tell you how I feel about things.
Yeah. Well, that's all we do.
Y'all want that?
I mean, I know
but-
you've never listened to any of our podcasts, but that's all we do.
That's all we do. We just tell you how we feel about things.
Yeah.
I'm glad you guys aren't mad that I'm not a very stoic and.
Oh, that was honestly my worst fear.
serious.
I was like, I'm going to say something to
I'm-
offend them. They're going to like blackball us.
I'm so glad you just jumped right in with us.
Yeah.
Love it.
I had a tasting about 2 months ago,
Wood
and it was a
tasting?
virtual. Unfortunately, it wasn't. Unfortunately,
Oh, it wasn't on a Saturday.
But it was with a priest. If you want to keep those strokes pocketed, we'll pull them back out.
So father reach around?
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. I jumped in and I was like, all right, cool. I say a lot of offensive things. I'm not like the most polished of a human. And I was
Fit
like,
right
cool,
in.
this will be amazing. And I jumped on it and they were like, hello, Father so-and-so. And I was like, oh. I literally, I opened it up. I thought I had muted it. And I go, oh, God damn it. And the priest,
It's like not a good way to start.
Zoom lit up and I was like, hi, my name is Linsey. I'm the Angels Envy rep. Everything's going to be great, guys. And I felt like I had like Tourette's because I was like, fuck, shit, God damn it, God, suck, bitch, Jesus fucking Christ.
You're like a female version of Martell.
Yeah.
I feel like we're just
over to explicit.
We did. Well, it was explicit when
I'm just
I
kidding.
showed up.
I know.
Yeah, we had a show where he dropped the F-bomb so many times. His buddy texted me said, "Dude, if that was a drinking game, I'd be dead." It was like he was so mad about Lowe's screwing up an order and all this stuff. I think he said like 200 sometimes.
Yeah, I dropped it
in an hour and a half.
It was bad.
I'm proud of you.
So
I love to hear that.
People know our show's not kosher. Is that the right term to use?
Kosher is fair.
Yeah.
I mean, that's not inaccurate.
I mean, we like pickles, but we're not kosher.
Right. I got you. So, Lindsey, thank you so much.
Thank you so very
Have a
much.
wonderful rest of your afternoon.
Did we get a picture of that awesome kit she has?
I got a picture of her
Holding
opening
it open.
it.
Oh,
We need like put it on those barrels.
Yeah,
and get a good picture.
I'll go
that's a good idea.
I'll
You
do
haven't
my
sent
full
me a picture of any of
display.
this.
Oh,
I
good.
sent it to her.
Because we want to definitely
what?
pump up Angels Envy as much as possible.
I appreciate that.
Thank you so much.
Go ahead and toast and hashtag tag the trees or
Yes.
toast the trees so we can.
Yes, hashtag toast the trees. Guys, all of our pictures today, we need to do that.
Toast the trees, absolutely.
Because honestly, we
Thank
all
you
like
so much.
whiskey, we like bourbon, so we need to
Keep it coming, man.
support them
That effort
like they have supported
rolling
us. So
through.
we will do that.
Absolutely.
Everybody listening,
You guys
go
are
get Angels Envy. If you've had it, get more.
Lindsey, you're the best.
Yes.
Thank you so much.
This
Please, guys, my ego's really low. I need you to blow it up a little bit more.
So you're the best guest we've ever had on the show.
That's actually probably fair.
What the fuck am I?
I mean, it's
First off, you've never been on this show.
you're actually a co-host now.
Oh, okay.
You've
Perfect.
never been on this show, and honestly, you're not as good as Lindsay. So
I'm the only female apparently that's ever been on the
She
show.
has hair. It's
That's
because she has
fair.
hair.
you are the only female that's been on this show. We've had
has
Martelle's
a
sister
vagina.
Yeah.
She
Yeah.
has a
Hair.
vagina.
It's because of the hair.
Hot sauce and vagina
I'm
Sundays.
assuming.
I'm down.
That's the podcast I'm on.
Hot sauce in the vagina's Sundays.
Yeah, that was.
That's a
I'm
thing.
not-
I
my
didn't
Sunday
coin
film.
that.
I feel like
One
that
of you
would be.
did.
Well,
I think
I'm
it-
just
yeah, I think
saying
it was
that
Martelle.
tomorrow's Sunday, we can give that a whirl.
Go ahead and phone a friend.
Do you
I'll
know
be
how
in.
many
I'm
bottles
in.
of hot sauce I have at home? I've got Cholula.
Okay,
I've got
you
three
two.
different
I want
versions
you
of
two to
Cholula.
try that
I
tomorrow.
got
Let me know what the
Yeah.
wives do.
Is this going to be
Peg
like
level
Eric
7.
Andre?
I got extra hot
Peg
red.
level 7
Frank's
out of
Red
4.
Hot.
Peg level 7.
Out of 4.
It's only going to get worse, gang.
I like it. I like it.
All right.
Thank you guys
90-second
so
clip
much.
coming
Thank
on
you.
Monday.
Honestly,
Angels
Thank
Envy,
you.
you're the best.
this is awesome. We'll definitely be in touch.
Thank you so
Fantastic.
much.
Thank you.
And my favorite part of having Lindsay on too is cool to hear from somebody that's in the industry, because we've always said we're such amateurs.
Well, sure.
We've done research, we've watched documentaries, we've read books, we do tastings.
We watched what? Documentaries. Did you have a stroke in the middle of that word?
I might have. I'm really fat. I don't know.
Fair.
Things happen.
Yeah, that's why. Like on Bourbon Hunters lately, we've been having a little bit more.
I know you guys have tried to get people in the industry
Yeah,
on
so
the show.
we had Taconic, the head distillery from Taconic. We've had bar owners. We've had a couple other people on the episodes as of late, which have kind of, I feel like, given us a little bit more, users that are a little more attached to the industry, if you will.
Yeah.
So that's been really nice for us, and we've started getting more and more people scheduled. As Tyler's sitting over there having a beer, he's not even part of the podcast right now.
I love Tyler. I got to be honest.
No, Tyler's awesome.
He's like, "Hey, you want to jump in?" And then he just went and saddled up at another table.
He's a big dumb animal, but we love him.
I absolutely love everything. Did he got the free drinks? He's like, "All right, I'm going to go eat now."
Yeah. Now we're done with the
Tap
bourbon.
out.
Let's go eat. So let's go ahead and wrap this up. Thank you for joining us today. We are the Flights of the Roundtable. This is a podcast between the Bourbon Hunters and the Buckhorn Podcast. And this is our second episode of this. However, it's our 34th episode. Your guys' is how many?
Oh, we're like 130. We've been going for over 2 years. Wow.
Yeah,
Every week. So
120-something. Lots of podcasting. One of these times we'll get Mo to join us on one of these.
Yeah, we got to get Mo. We love Mo.
But thank you for joining us today, guys. We appreciate you listening, and we'll have the on-demand version here shortly. And
honestly, we just want to go get some more drinks and food, so we're going to get off here.
Exactly.
Peace.
Thanks, guys. Have a good one.